Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
Always trust everyone to be themselves, but trust in the fact that you can see them well. It takes too much energy to not trust someone. It takes too much energy. You always gotta stay 2 steps ahead of them or whatever. But trust them to be them. Trust a snake to bite you. Trust a lion to lie. Trust a thief to steal from you. Like, trust them to be them. But know them when you see them.
Certified salute. Peace, love, and reparations, everybody. Reparations, love, and peace. Here we go, all the way. Make sure you subscribe to this channel right here, the Black Alpha Network, the one and only. I appreciate that. Make sure you smash the like button. I appreciate that. And let's continue to put in that work like only we can do. And I say we because we are in this together. We are all we got, and we are the only ones who are going to hold down this lineage, heritage, culture, on code 24/7. So let's continue to do it as a family, family tree, FBA, American Freedmen, and as always, certified Black Society, BLACK. Let's go. Trust everybody to be themselves, but trust in the fact that you can see them well. Yes, quote to DMX. So basically, trust that a coon's gon' coon, a tap dancer gon' tap dance, a shield gon' shield, and a tether gon' tether. That's what it is. They not changing their ways. Once you brand somebody as one of those, see them as that way forever, because they're not gonna change. You ain't gonna see a snake today, and then you're gonna come out and see it tomorrow, and it's gonna be a butterfly. No. A butterfly is a butterfly, a snake's a snake, and a snake will bite you if you try to pick it up. And that's how you gotta view all their asses. A tether ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and just say, you know what? I don't wanna be a tether no more. I'm gonna untether myself. No. A coon ain't gonna wake up tomorrow and say, I'm gonna uncoon myself. No, that ain't how it works. There's no reforming a coon. There's no rehabilitation for a coon. There's not a coon rehabilitation program. No, you can't talk it out of them. You can't pray it out of them. You can't even pay them. Once a coon, always a coon, forever a coon, for life. And they mad as hell right now because we got the momentum. We on code. We getting it done, and we don't apologize for shit. Cut the check. You see the difference between before and now. You see the difference between yesterday and today. They used to apologize. They say, I'm sorry, boss. I didn't mean to do that. Can't we all get along? We all in this together now. We don't say that shit no more. We say cut the check, reparations over everything, tangibles or else, and we ain't gonna apologize for it. We always talk about standing on our square. That's what we do. We always say they can't knock us off our pivot. Ain't no way. And the main thing about all that is my foundational Black American certified American Freedmen. We do as we please, and we don't apologize to a goddamn person. Look at all the tap dancing we've been seeing. Look at all the cooning, all the butter biscuit boot licking you have seen. Charles Barkley, he apologized to the rainbow on behalf of Black people.
It's always disappointed me. Black people treat gay people. We are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being Black, what it's like being gay.
Stephen A. Smith, he apologized to Jerry Jones on behalf of Black people.
I'm very, very fond of Jerry Jones, and I'm not hiding that from anybody. Is his record perfect? No. But I'm pissed off because he doesn't deserve what just happened. He doesn't deserve it.
And Vanessa Jones, Van Essa, he apologized on behalf of Black people.
Let us start off with an apology. The silence my community. Let us start off with an apology. The silence my community. Let us start off with an apology. The silence my community.
Now let me say this. Certified American Freedmen, we don't apologize to no goddamn body on behalf of 400 years. Cut the check. No, we stand on our square, we laser focus, and we got our eyes on the prize. And our eyes is reparations. Look out in California right now, family. They putting money on the table. They talking numbers. Look across the country. You're starting to see Black grassroots candidates popping up everywhere. We don't apologize. We get ours. We focus. We own one. That's what we about. Now, they may want to bootlick, they may want to tap dance, they can go send out every single coon that they can find. Continue to do that, and we gonna continue to give you that real shit, live and direct. If you ain't being direct, you wasting time, and we don't have time to waste. We got money to make, and we see those dollar signs getting closer. I'm telling you, family, reparations, we are getting closer. We have the momentum. If you do not believe that we have momentum, look at the reparations claim this time a year ago, and then apply that to this time 2 years ago. Look where we are today opposed to where folks were in the past. That's because we've been putting in work. That's because we've been solid. And that's because we've been saying whatever the fuck we want to say and whatever comes to our mind, and we don't apologize or compromise for no goddamn body. See, what they want to do is they want to buck break us. They want to buck break us in a lot of different ways. See, if they can't buck break one individual, one celebrity, they'll start to send out these other individuals who try to play spokesperson so they can buck break us through proxy. You understand what I'm saying? They're trying to buck break black people by proxy. See, Charles Barkley apologized for y'all. That's kind of like buck breaking everybody because we can't get everybody else to do it. There used to be a time where they'd send out one person, they say that bullshit, and then everybody would follow suit. Not anymore. There used to be a time they would send out that one coon on television, give him the biggest microphone, put him on camera. Then he would say some shit and throw us all under the bus, and everybody would say, see, that's what happens. Not anymore. Now, us certified American freedmen, foundational black Americans, we speak for our goddamn self. Y'all notice that? Every line, every narrative, every word that comes out from us is owned by us. Nobody can put words in our mouth. Nobody can dictate to us. They can't try to twist and spin our words anymore. We say what the fuck we mean. We mean what the fuck we say, and we stand on it. That's what it looks like when you on code. That's what it looks like when you got momentum, and we got them both, and we gonna push this all the way through. Y'all know I always said, when I look at the dominant society, oh, they're in full desperation mode right now. Full desperation mode. I see people who are very uncomfortable. The fact that they got to send out Vanessa Jones, of all people that you can find, of all folks that you could pull off the street, you go get Vanessa Jones, the black man who has cried more on television than the white woman.
To tell your kids, character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. Back up for no reason. Vindication for a lot of people. Vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. Vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered. Back up for no reason.
I mean, goddamn. The black bald-headed Karen? The guy who cries on TV, and Karen has to give him Kleenexes. That's who you chose to throw black folks under the bus? Oh man, y'all desperate as hell. Hey, they desperate as hell, uncomfortable as a motherfucker. Good luck with that one. How long did that shit last? Did that even work? He came out and gave a speech saying, I apologize for black folks, and the drip was big, and we said nothing, and we're so bad and evil because of Kanye West. And man, black folks didn't take that shit serious for 1 second. And let me tell you, it was so bad that he had coons coming out and saying that Van Jones don't speak on behalf of them. Damn. They was out here saying, y'all hold on one damn minute now. Van Jones does not speak or represent the whole coon community. They put out a whole coon press release. He can't even get coon support. The National Coon Association separated themselves from Van Jones. Effective immediately. He had his coon card revoked in 50 states. I ain't lying. You know that's fucked up. He had coons calling him out. When you got one coon saying that the other coon doesn't represent this coon or all coons, then you know you in a fucked up place. And that's exactly where they are, a fucked up place. And we ain't lying. Marcus Lemoyce Hill, he came out and was saying, man, you know, that's kind of wrong what Van Jones did. He was trying to put some butter biscuit sauce on it, but he was still trying to separate himself from Van Jones. You know, coons of a feather tap dance together. So when they wasn't tap dancing together, oh, you know that was some shit. You know that was some shit. That whole situation, the whole motherfucking apology, that shit fell flat on his face. First off, nobody takes Van Jones serious. As I said, Karen doesn't even take him serious. I seen this man crying on television and Karen gave him Kleenexes. I ain't lying. He was sitting there getting consulted by a W woman. One more time.
To tell your kids, character matters. It matters. Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters. And it's easier for a whole lot of people. Back up for no reason. Vindication for a lot of people. Vindication for a lot of people who have really suffered vindication for a lot of people, who have really suffered back for no reason.
What the hell does that tell you? So he's not taken serious in the dominant society, obviously. Black folks definitely don't take him serious. The coon community has revoked his coon membership for a year and a half. I mean, you want to talk about an epic failure, and that's exactly what that was, an epic failure. See, again, they tend to use old school tactics, but they don't understand they're dealing with some new school riders. The new school mentality is that we don't play them fucking games. We don't apologize. We do not allow people to come around and speak on behalf of us. All this spokesperson shit, like they're going to come out and talk like they own the black community, or they have some type of clout in the black community, or they call some type of shots in the black community, but yet the average person in the black community couldn't pick them out of a fucking lineup. That does not fly. That does not fly. Back in the old days, they'd give you somebody that they say, this is your leader. Well, who is he? We don't know. He marched 17 rows behind Martin Luther King in 1963. Okay, whatever the fuck. And they would always try to present somebody and say, here's the spokesperson. See, the whole spokesperson hustle, that doesn't work anymore. You want to know why? Because the code is the leader. Once you have the code as the leader, they cannot give you a spokesperson. Think what they've been trying to do for the last few years. This is all a result of us being on code, and this is all a result of them being scared. They tried to tell us that FBA has a leader. They try to say, well, that's y'all leader now. Y'all know y'all got a leader. Follow the leader. They kept trying to say that we have a leader in our lineage, and we kept rejecting that shit. We wouldn't let them try. That shit wouldn't stick. Then they try to go get these nobodies from the civil rights era and say, well, here's your leader. Here's John Lewis or fucking Elijah Cummings. And we said, hell to the no. Goodbye. That didn't work. Now they're trying to go get the Van Jones, the Charles Barkleys of the world, the Stephen A. Smith. They'll go give them the biggest camera in the world, the biggest microphone, the biggest platform. And they say, okay, let's try to slide these people in as the leader of black folks. And we reject that shit. Man, y'all remember a few years ago when Don Lemon was on TV and he was trying to tell us who our leaders were? He was saying, where's Oprah? Where's Kim Kardashian? I mean, he just started naming any random ass person. That's the shit they be doing. Trying to tell us who our leaders are and just picking names out of a hat. Not the real economists, not the real strategists, not the real pillars in the black grassroots. Always some boule, actor, actress, entertainer, somebody that we don't give a fuck about. And that's exactly what he was doing. And black folks didn't take that shit serious at all.
Where's the black leadership? Then they know there's that person like me. There's that Oprah like me. There is that Jay-Z like me. There is that Colin Kaepernick who is like me, who is on television because of the knee, and now it is all coming full circle. There is I'm so upset now. There even is a Kim Kardashian who is like me. There is that Tracy Ellis Ross who is like me. And I'm talking about all of these people who I admire and I love. There is that Tyler Perry who is like me. There is I can't even think of names right now because I'm so infuriated by what is happening in this country.
Jay-Z, Oprah, Tracy Ellis Ross, Tyler Perry, and Kim Kardashian. Those were the names that he spewed off the top of his head when he was trying to think of black leadership. This is the shit we be talking about, fam. These are the names that they try to put in front of our reparations movement. They try to put in front of our tangibles movement. They try to put in front of our protests, our marches, our rallies, and we reject them time and time again. That man was like, where's Kim Kardashian? Kim Kardashian, he put in the same sentence as black leadership. Tyler Perry, he put in the sentence of black leadership. Again, that shows you how desperate they are. And that's the same exact folks that they trying to run with now. It used to be Oprah, now they trying to slide out Van Jones. They tried Tyler Perry, now it's Charles Barkley. This man even tried Tracy Ellis Ross. And now it's Stephen A. Smith. Time can change, the dates will change, and even the faces will change. But cooning will never change. And they'll always try to put somebody in front of our movement. But right now, no matter who the fuck they try to put out, no matter what fake spokesperson they try to give us, we reject that shit, we expose that shit, and we deny that shit. On code culture. That's why coons are going out of business. Cooning used to be a very profitable business. Oh yeah, they used to come and get them goddamn Sambo checks every 2 seconds. Now, once we on code and none of they shit work no more, man, these coons is in distress. Hurt like a motherfucker. Y'all know I'm always saying it right now. Why you think they always mad and screaming and upset? Why you think they disappear? Why you think you see these coons getting these major demotions? Why you think they'll say something, we'll G-check them, and then they'll go away? That's because they ain't getting their premiums no more. The dominant society don't know what to do. They said, man, we used to always be able to use the coon. The coon used to be the main person we'd go to and try to get them to sell out black folks. Now, black folks is G-checking them before they show up. What we gonna do now? I'm gonna tell you what you can do now. You can sit your ass down and accept the fact that certified black society is in full command. The cooning, the tap dancing, and the butter biscuit chasing don't work no goddamn mo. And we taking them coons and we putting an out of business sign in their front yard. Deal with it. Damn, it feels good being on code. And we are. That's how you do it. This is what it is being on code. Being on code is not only all of us marching with the same goal. Being on code is all of us G-checking motherfuckers at the same time. And we've been G-checking them at the same time because we all see the same play. By the time they even try that shit, we done already seen that shit and we done already regulated that shit. And when they get stuck in that position where all their games have failed, all their hustles have failed, all their scams have failed, they don't know what the fuck to do. And that's why I say, look at them, watch them closely, and you will see people who are terrified. And they should be. Because when we're on the same game, we change the world. And if you look around you, the world is changing because of us. Every single day, every single hour, every single moment, foundational black Americans, certified American freedmen are changing this country in our image. And that's the way it should be because we created this country. So it's only coming right back around to its rightful owner. Yes, let me say that again 2 times. Every single day, we are changing this country in our image, and that is merely it just coming back to its rightful owner because we are the ones who built this country, and it's only right. So when Van Nessa Jones and Charles Barkley and Stephen A. Smith, whenever they come out and they start saying these con games and these trick bags, that shit does not last. And then they have to deal with the consequences of their failures. Stephen A. Smith, he tried to get loud, he tried to get rough, he hopped in his Sambo mobile, put that motherfucker in reverse, and he went back to cooning, all right? Over there in his little coon corner. Epic failure. Charles Barkley, he tried to go on a whole goddamn tour. And everywhere he went, he was like, black folks is doing this and black folks are wrong and it's terrible. He tried to go in on Kyrie. That shit didn't work. Then he tried to come at black folks with the rainbow community. That didn't work. Every single thing that he tried on his little anti-FBA world tour, none of that shit has worked. Epic failure. And Van Nessa Jones, he tried to do the same exact thing, and that was an even bigger failure. So all 3 of them folks is going to have to go to Zaddy's principal's office. They're all going to have to get their little spanking because the con that they tried did not go anywhere. And if a coon cannot hustle black folks, they are rendered useless. So now the dominant society is seeing exactly what we've always seen about them 3. They are absolutely useless. And that's what happens when you come against certified American freedmen. We see it before you see it. We call it out before you call it out. And we don't apologize for shit. Hail to the no. See, what they used to do is they used to say bad things about black folks and black folks would believe the shit. So if they said black folks was anti this, black folks say, that is true, we are. And if they said black folks was anti that, black folks say, man, that is real now. We don't do that shit no more. You ain't gonna come to us and tell us who we are. You ain't gonna come to us and tell us who we bout. You're not gonna come to us and tell us a motherfucking thing. Because every single thing that we do, we know. And one thing we know above all is that a snake is a snake. And you trust somebody to be themselves, but trust the fact that you can see them well. And we see their ass. That's why none of the cons work. See, they wanted Charles Barkley to say that we anti this community, and then all of us said we're anti this community. Fuck nah. Then they wanted Stephen A. Smith to come out and talk forgiveness and you can retire from being a supremacist. And then they wanted us all to say forgiveness. You can retire from being a supremacist. Fuck nah. And then they had Van Jones come out and say that we're anti them people. And they wanted us all to say we're anti them people. And fuck to the nah. They were trying to use these folks as proxies so they can confuse, derail, and disrupt foundational black Americans. They try to put jackets on foundational black Americans. They try to put tags on us like they've always done. But this time, era, and day, that shit don't fly. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. You can try whatever the fuck you want to try. But at the end of the day, the bottom line, point blank period, is that we don't explain, we don't complain, we don't compromise, and we don't apologize. Cut the check, run the check, cash money. And when I say cut the check, I mean cut the check. Dollars, money. Remember this, family. Reparations starts at cash payments. It ain't in the middle, it ain't in the end. It starts in the very, very beginning. We talking about money. Don't let anybody come around here and try to tell us reparations is about Uber drive, catfish nuggets, a returning of African music. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Matter of fact, fuck that. Let's get there. A gentleman that we regulated right here last week, and it was picture fucking on point, perfect timing. Now he's going around doing more of his anti-FBA tour, and he's trying to get more codified and camouflaged with his hatred and spite and jealousy and envy. Dr. Kubar Vasquez. He was going around on the Breakfast Club, as a matter of fact, y'all. So as soon as we dropped our episode, Regulated, all of a sudden now he's on the Breakfast Club and he's saying the same exact stuff about reparations. He's saying he does not want reparations in the form of cash payments.
A cash payout for reparations is a trap. And the reason a cash payout for reparations is a trap is because so much of what needs to be fixed in American society for African people will take more than cash to do it. In other words, I give D.A. DJ Injury $233,000. Or if I take the Bob Johnson plan, he said each American African is due $350,000, right? I give you $350,000. Does that stop mass incarceration?
Nope.
Does that stop miseducation? Does that stop gentrification? Does that stop police genocide? Does that guarantee us access to wealth? I mean, in the state of California, what can you get with $233,000?
Nobody ever said that it would stop those things, but the money helps you combat those things. So this failed bullshit ass logic of we gonna get the money and everything's is going to stop. That's op talk. Matter of fact, that sounds a lot like a Democratic shield when they say all supremacy went away when Joe Biden got elected.
I'm not even sure if that's enough for a house. And on top of that, the minute they give you the payment, they can reduce the value of the payment through inflation. So I can flood the economy with money so the 233 is only worth 120.
Who talks down on reparations in the form of cash payments? Family, have y'all seen any Ukrainian say that they don't want foreign aid in the form of cash? Have you seen any Ukrainian come out and say, no, Joe Biden, we don't want those billions of dollars in money. Instead, send us some music. Or a DVD player, send us some sofas and couches or whatever the fuck. Have y'all seen anybody say that? Have y'all seen any refugees separated at the border by Trump say, no, Joe Biden, we don't want that $400,000 a piece in cash. We would rather have some potato chips, some Cheetos, and some Doritos. That's what we'd rather have. Send us reparations in the form of McDonald's. Have you seen any other group have people try to sabotage cash payments of reparations in the form of anything else? The answer to that is an astounding hell no. Everybody has a problem with foundational Black Americans getting to the money. Let's just say that on the table. They don't want us to get to the money because they understand exactly what we're going to do with the money. Trust and believe. As I always say, nobody's worried about all millions of us getting reparations. They worried about that 100, that certified 100. They know you, all my brothers. They know you, all my sisters. We going to get the money and we going to flip it. We're going to take the money and build it. You're talking about the lineage that created this country through oppression. But you trying to tell me we can't handle the money? You're talking about the lineage that created all art forms and music that the whole world is dancing to, shaking to, and pop locking to on the other side of the planet. But we couldn't handle the money? The very term they gave us lemons and we made lemonade comes from us. Our whole existence is making something out of nothing. Our whole existence is shattering the mold. Our whole existence is beating the world against all odds. And you tell me we can't handle the money. Anybody who says that foundational Black Americans should not get money, I don't give a fuck if you say it directly, indirectly, sideways, upside down, or right side up. Your ass is an op and you off code. I don't give a fuck if you have on a dashiki. I don't give a fuck if you have on a suit and tie. I don't give a fuck if you got your hat cocked to the side. If you talk down on reparations for my lineage, my heritage, and my culture, if you run interference on reparations for my lineage, heritage, and culture, your ass is 100% an op and you will get G-checked on site, point blank, bottom line. Let's let that be known. Let's put that in the atmosphere. Because now I'm starting to see everybody come out the woodwork. See, it started off with the Tethers. They was coming out the woodwork saying, what about reparations for us, family? You seen that. Then you seen the people of color come out. Say, we're all the people of color. Then you seen the politicians. HR 40 now. Why y'all fucking with me? I put that for 200 years now. You started to see all them. Them are the usual suspects. And now you starting to see the undercover ops out here. You starting to see the Prince of Pan-Africanisms coming around speaking down on foundational Black American cash payments. They won't speak down on anything else. They just don't want us to get the money. When somebody says, oh, it's okay for you to have that, or you can have that thing over there, or you can have that small little thing, or that little thing over there. You can have anything in the world that you like, but you can't have the money. That person is an op. And those people are everywhere, and we got our eyes on every last one of their asses. Yeah, this all lives matter. It ain't about the money. We gonna try to give you reparations in the form of everything else except for the cash, even though everybody else gets the cash. Those people are only thinking to keep us behind. Nobody has that thought process, and they're genuine. I'm just being honest with you. It highlights two things, family, and we're going to break this shit down. Because, see, we getting way too close to the reparations, and we knew this was coming. Our master teachers and our scholars, Dr. Claude Anderson, called out these people years ago. Dr. Claude Anderson prophesied exactly the type of people that we were going to see, that were going to try to stop us from getting reparations. And family, if you look, you see every last one of them. And the closer we get to the bag, they come out in tenfold. Yes, you're going to have the people who are scared, who say, I don't want reparations now because massa going to get mad at us. You're going to have the other people who say, I don't want them FBAs to get the money, because once the FBAs get the money, my little group or my little ideology or my little tether can't do shit on my own ass community is going to be left behind. And then you have the people who have their own personal vendettas against us based upon their own failures, based upon their own insecurities, or based upon their own jealousies, and they are going to be the main ones. Jealousy is a hell of a drug. And foundational Black Americans, we've been making people jealous for years, because heavy is the head that wears the crown, and we wear the motherfucking crown. When you are on top, everybody at the bottom wants to knock you down. And that's exactly what you see occurring. And these folks are going on anti-FBA tours, family. Yes, there are people out there that you only see them when they're talking down on foundational Black Americans. Specifically, when they're trying to stop foundational Black Americans from getting reparations. You won't see these folks at any time of day. You won't see these folks at any time of night. They're not on the news. They're not on television. They don't show their dusty ass, raggedy faces out here in these streets until it comes time to talk down on foundational Black American reparations. Family, these folks is on an anti-FBA reparations tour. They done literally sent out these motherfuckers to do everything humanly possible to stop us from getting reparations. You got folks saying, I believe in reparations only in the form of returning all African music back to America. So not the money, not cash payments, not tangibles. Let's get all the money from African music. That's your form of reparations? Get the fuck out of here. You got folks running around here saying, I support reparations in the form of everybody gets it all across the world, not just FBA, but every single group that's ever lived. Get the fuck out of here. You got folks running around here saying, I support reparations in the form of donations to HBCUs. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody is trying to insert something that has nothing to do with the money. So the very fact that they're excluding money, they're trying to prevent us from getting the money, that shows you that the money has to be the goal. Remember what I always say, find out what the dominant society is trying to stop you from doing and do it. Whenever the dominant society is saying, no, don't go that way, it's not safe. Come over here with us. No. Go that way where they say it wasn't safe. See, when they say it's not safe, they're not talking about for you. They're saying it ain't safe for them. Yes. Remember, the person trying to tell you to not go in a particular direction, and they saying they're doing it for your safety, they're doing it for their safety. And that's why us standing on 10, standing on our square, representing who we are and self-identifying has everybody shook. They spent years trying to get us to not do it. Once we started to self-identify, then we understood our lineage, heritage, and culture, and then we started to realize that our lineage and our heritage and our culture is owed a massive debt in the form of reparations in the form of cash payments, not in the form of this.
If I was in charge of the reparations conversation, number one, control of all Black music must only be done through the Black community. No non-African can control our music. Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Biggie, Tupac. If the publishing, if the marketing, if the promotion, if the recording is not controlled by Black people, that has to change. We own our own music. Nobody can own, sell, produce, publish, promote Black music but Black people.
This man said number one, not number 5, not 7, not 11, not 30. He said if he was in control of the reparations movement, this would be his number one priority. So let's get this right, family. Not cash payments, not direct money, not direct deposit, nothing to do with money, not land, not housing, not education, not healthcare. His number one priority is controlling African music. Damn. Shameful, shameless, pathetic. And that music that he keeps saying is African is actually foundational Black American music. Homie, in his head, hip hop is not a foundational Black American art form. He believes it came from Africa. So, once again, Dr. Coolbarter is on the same page as Fat Joe when it comes to Black American music. He's on the same page as Candace Owens when it comes to reparations. So his view about foundational Black American reparations is the same as Candace Owens, and his view about foundational Black American hip hop is the same as Fat Joe's. Like I said, you got some fucked up company, bruh. Real fucked up. And man, he loves saying that term African American, don't he? Boy, we out here saying foundational Black American. We out here saying American freedmen, and he's still saying African American. Who else says African American, as a matter of fact? Ain't that exactly what the dominant society says? So let's run this down. Dr. Kubar, he says African American the same way the dominant society says African American. Dr. Kubar says hip hop culture is not foundational Black American the same way Fat Joe says hip hop culture is not foundational Black American. And Dr. Kubar does not support reparations the same way that Candace Owens doesn't support reparations. Looking real funny in the motherfucking light, bro. And mind you, all of those people I just named do not even qualify. Be very cautious of these folks running around here speaking on money they don't even qualify for. And you notice how he keeps saying, first off, reparations comes from Pan-Africanism. You see how he got to keep putting that in there? He got to keep putting that in there. So was the Pan-African reparations non-cash payments too? Why you still got to look at it as ownership? I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it as if any of my brothers and sisters get what rightfully belongs to them and the struggle of our ancestors, that's a good thing. He's saying it's cool only if you bow down to him because Pan-Africans started it. The fuck out of here. And then he'll say some shit like, I support it, but when it comes to Pan-Africanism, he said that's our thing. But it belongs to everybody. You see how he threw that in there real quick? You see, I'm telling you, he's being real motherfucking shady. He's being real slick. He's being real conniving. He'll throw in some shit real quick like, these are all the 100 reasons why you don't need them, but I do support them. And then he'll say some shit like, first off, reparations belongs to us, Pan-Africans. That's our thing. But it belongs to all the people. If it belongs to all the people, it ain't your thing. It can't be both. It can't be your thing and it belongs to everybody. This ain't Friday. That motherfucker basically said, Pop's tripping. He want me to ask for my bike back. You know I wouldn't even trip. It'd be like both of ours. I just keep it in my house. Fuck out of here. Hey, he done gave us a grandmama gave me that chain excuse about our reparations. He said it's for everybody. He just gonna keep it at his house and put Pan-African on it. And you better acknowledge that Pan-African started it. Who even thinks like that? I don't think like that. If my brothers and sisters out here get $100, I support that. If my brothers and sisters out here get $200, I support that. Whatever my brothers and sisters who are foundational Black Americans get that they rightfully deserve and what belongs to them based on the name and the struggle of our ancestors, I support it. I would never say, but that's our thing. So when a motherfucker tell you it's his thing, then you already know everything you need to know about it. Nah, homeboy, it ain't a you thing. It ain't a Pan-African thing. It's a foundational Black American ancestors who went through bondage and slavery in the worst conditions thing. Twisted as hell, completely twisted. He's taking our ancestors' reparations claim and he's putting it on his shoulders. I told y'all, he's Pan-African over everything, including other Black folks. Damn shame. And then on top of that, how do you know he's running interference and he's trying to cover it up? How do you know he's running game and he's trying to cover it up? Simply because one minute he says we can't handle cash reparations, but then he comes up with this elaborate plot of what he would do if he was in charge of reparations, and what he says is way more difficult than cash. He'll sit here and say, we need to take all the money, get all the inventions back, control all the music, all the publishing and everything. So Black folks, in his logic, we can handle all that, but we can't handle a simple check. That lets you know that he's lying. He'd rather give us some type of fairy tale. We should own all the music in the world. We should get back all our inventions in the world, because he knows that probably isn't going to happen. But he'll never say cash reparations because he understands that's closer. That's like the person you know that says, yeah, man, if I hit the lotto, I'll give you 10 million. And then you say, can I hold 20 right now? Well, I ain't got 20 right now. I'm just saying. You quick to tell me you give me 10 million because you know you ain't gonna get that. But it makes you look good to say it. But when I give you something realistic that is closer and more easy to achieve, then you throw all the blockades up. Then you run all the interference, and that's exactly what Dr. Umar's doing. He'll sit there and say that we should control all the music, get all the inventions back, things that would literally reshape the American economic infrastructure. He says we can handle that, but our simple cash reparations payments, he says we can't have that. He's giving us the fairy tale because he know it ain't gonna happen, while he's denying the reality because he sees it's close to happening. That's one of the oldest deceiving games in the book, homeboy, and I see it from a mile away. You might be able to run that shit on Charlemagne the Fraud, but you ain't running that shit on certified Black society. Listen.
money off black music than almost anything else that she sells. So if we control the music, we have a steady stream of global revenue where we can build a black Wall Street in every single city in America for black people. That's how much money will be coming in from black music. That's one. Two, all black inventions return to us permanently. Everything we invented is a permanent patent for Africans. And if you want to use it, you must pay us a percentage. The cell phone, we invented that. Internet, that's ours. Helicopter, that's ours. Self-lubricating engine, the microphone, the stop sign, the walkie-talkie. Why are those lights on right now? Because a black man named Lewis Latimer wrote a textbook that taught China, the UK, Canada, and America how to light up a whole city at night. Without Lewis Latimer, you don't get street lights at night. You don't get constant illumination anywhere in the world. So guess what? Anybody running lights, you paying black people. Take back ownership of our music. Take back ownership of our inventions. Next on the list is all the confiscated lands.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, these folks be always trying to put some shit that's completely unrealistic, right? You ever notice that? We can simply get money, all right? We can simply get cash. We can simply get some dollars. But no, that's too hard. But then they'll sit there and give us some shit that's quadruple harder. They'll say, no, what we need to do is we need all the institutions to put together a piggy bank. Once you get the piggy bank, every single dominant society institution has to put in 2 quarters. Once they put in 2 quarters, on the 3rd day of the year, when the moon is at the most high, it'll shine down on the piggy bank. Then when it shines down on the piggy bank, it will disperse money into the banks. And then the bankers will be afraid. So now they have to invest in the stock market. And once they invest in the stock market, we can finally get reparations. I told y'all, support it now. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Man, listen, if you try to put a hurdle in front of us, just tell me it's a hurdle. If you trying to put a blockade in front of us, just tell me it's a blockade. They'll sit there and say how reparations in the form of cash is so hard, but then they'll give us an alternative situation that's way harder than that. Listen to what this man just said. So you really believe that the dominant society is going to do all of that shit in the form of reparations? Or do you know goddamn well they won't do that? And do you know goddamn well that is far more difficult than them cutting them checks? See, the reason why we say cut the check is because cut the check is simple. Pull out your motherfucking checkbook, put some zeros on top of zeros on that motherfucker, and then send it to us, and then we'll take care of the rest. See, we're on some we'll take care of the rest shit. We're not sitting here thinking about what the dominant society is gonna do next. He's saying some shit like this.
And then guess what they're going to do after they give the reparations to African people? They're going to find subsidy programs to give to the LGBTQ, to the women, to immigrants, to other people. So at the end of the day, what looked like a step up for black people would be a step back.
Again, who gives a fuck? They can give money, subsidies, subsidized submarines and Subway sandwiches to the whole goddamn world. We gonna get our money and we gonna flip that shit. See, you're thinking from a defeated mentality when you're worrying about what they gonna do. Let me say this. Look at us. Look at foundational black American, certified American freedmen very, very closely, okay? Look at us in our eyes. Do we look like we give a fuck what the dominant society is gonna do next? Do we look like we give a fuck what the coons are gonna do? Do we look like we wake up every morning worries about what masses or people of colors is gonna do to us? Fuck no. When you're on game, you're about yours and you handle your business, you don't have time or the luxury to worry about nobody else. They worry about us. Only thing foundational black Americans do is we wake up every day and we're foundationally black American excellent. We handle our foundational black American business. We stay in our foundational black American lane and hold it down. We're not worried about the coons, the people of colors, the black and browns, the shields, the tethers. Hell to the no. We just getting our money. And we're going to continue to get our money, no matter who, how, or what got a problem with it. We're going to do what we've always done, and that's be great. And apparently they don't understand it because it's a certified thing. Foundational black Americans, we've never worried about anybody else. The Van Jones, the Charles Barkleys, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Dr. Kubars, they're sitting there every day thinking about everyone else. We're not. We're thinking about our lineage and money. We're thinking about our heritage and money. We're thinking about our culture and money. All of that lines up to black empowerment. When you have confidence in black empowerment within yourself, within your people, within your family tree like we have, we don't give a damn what they do. Give us the money and we're going to get it. Salute to our foundational black American legend, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., when he broke down reparations and he said, we coming to get our check, did y'all hear him say all that extra shit? Did you hear Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. say, well, we don't really need the money because if they give us the money, we gonna blow it all on Nikes. We gonna blow it all on liquor. Dr. Martin Luther King didn't say any of that. He said they spent the money on all the peasants, yet we're the ones who are owed the money. So when we come to Washington, we're coming to Washington to get our check. A check means cash payments.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Martin Luther King was on code. Martin Luther King did not say we're coming to Washington to get African music back. Martin Luther King didn't say we coming to Washington to get our internal pride back. He didn't say we coming to Washington to put the weave down. We're coming to Washington to quit listening to hip hop. He said we're coming to Washington to get the money. It's all about the money. Bottom line, cream, cash reparations everywhere around me. And we got to keep saying that, family, because you're going to always have these chumps who are going to come out and say it's everything except the money. So basically, you got Republicans, you got Democrats, you got tethers, people of color, minorities, black and brown coalitions, and Pan-Africans all saying FBA does not deserve money. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Failed Pan-Africans who are saying foundational black Americans don't deserve the money. Here's the thing. If you doing your thing over there, just do your thing over there. Why are you worried about our money? Quit pocket watching. The very fact that you talking on our reparations, but yet you trying to stop us from getting money, lets me know that you an op, lets me know you operating out of spite, jealousy, and envy. Family, would y'all go to anybody who's considered a family member to you, somebody you love, and tell them, oh, don't ask for money? Go get that new job, but just tell them you'll do it for free. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying basically that we should do everything for free. Matter of fact, he's taking it even further, and he's saying our ancestors did everything for free. So our ancestors built this country, and in return, their offspring are going to receive African music back? What the fuck is that? So your ancestors, everybody, my ancestors, everybody, they built this country, picked cotton in the worst conditions, had the worst clothes, were denied freedom, justice, and equality for 400 years. And the only payment in return is music. You got bullshit, and then you got that. You got lying, and then you got that. You got oppie ass behavior, and then you got that. Wrong side of history. Wrong motherfucking side of history. We are all on the right side of history. How do you know that? Because look at the people who are revered. Shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., our foundational black American legend. Dr. Martin Luther King said cash payments come get the money. Now, which side do you want to be on? You want to be on Dr. Martin Luther King or Dr. Kubar Vasquez? Did you hear Martin Luther King say anything about cut the weave? Did you hear Martin Luther King say anything about cut the music, cut the hip hop, cut the reggae, cut the internal pride, cut the spirituality system? Or did he say the money? Because that's what reparations is about. Never trust any politician, any pastor, any leader, any voice that's telling you that reparations isn't about the money. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but when I see Dr. Martin Luther King all the way to Dr. Claude Anderson tell me that reparations is about the money, then reparations is about the money, and I don't give a damn what Vasquez has to say about it. All of us who were at the reparations rally in Washington, D.C., all about the money. We didn't gas up our car. We didn't pay for plane tickets. We didn't fly or drive all the way to Washington, D.C. to get our internal pride back. We didn't come all the way there for that. We came there for the money. And let's say something that we all know. And this is for all the, he made some points now, because y'all know goddamn well, anytime somebody says one fucking thing, someone's gonna come out and say, well, he was wrong here, wrong there, wrong over there. He was wrong. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that either. But he made some points now. Fuck his points and fuck you too. All right, I ain't here to make no goddamn points now. I'm here to be solid, thorough, and on the right side of history like this whole foundational black American certified American freedman lineage is. Everybody else, they over there. we are right here. Where we stand is justice, where we stand is reparative justice, and where we stand is reparations in the form of cash payments. And time and history will show that we were right, because we're always right in the moment and everybody else is always falling to the curb. So when you talk about we don't have the money to build the institutions, how can we get reparations? Well, because if we get reparations, now we have the money to build the institutions. And all it's gonna take is that certified 100. It don't take every last black person on the planet to get reparations for us to get out of our economic hole. Hell to the no. Did it take every black person to be on code to free ourselves from slavery? Fuck no. Did it take every black person to be on code during Reconstruction? Fuck no. Did it take every black person to be on code during the Civil Rights era? Fuck no. And did it take every single black person on the planet Earth right now, today, as we speak, for foundational black Americans to have the impact that we're having? Fuck no. It is well known that all it takes is a few of us to get on code and we'll change the world. And we're changing the world right now. Not with every last person, not with all the swirlers who woke up, not with all the tethers who woke up, not with all the Democratic shills, the butter biscuit chasers, the tap dancers, and the sambos to all wake up. We gotta wait for all of them before we can get reparations. Under that logic, we gotta wait for every single black person to wake up before we can get to the money. If that was the case, family, and they had to wait for every single black person to wake up so they can get out of slavery, we'd still be in shackles. Receipt. Goddamn, boy, we got him. Hey, smash that like button, subscribe to the Black Alpha Network, and share this video all the way around the world. We working. Appreciate my family. We put in work as a family. And my family gets it done. I dare them to give us our reparations money. We'll flip that shit 1 billion times, family. You know how I know we'll flip our reparations money? Let me tell you why. Let me give you a reason. How do I know that foundational black Americans will flip that reparations money 1 billion times and build something so strong they can't stop it? Because foundational black Americans flip this country. That's why. If our ancestors can flip this country, then we can flip the reparations money that is owed to our ancestors for creating this country. Trust and believe, you give some of my sisters reparations money and they'll run every nail shop, nail salon, hair salon that exploits our community the fuck off the block. Guarantee you. You give some of my brothers reparations money and they'll run every corner store, side store, convenience store that exploits our community the fuck off the block. You give our children reparations money and family, they'll take over every goddamn lemonade stand, candy stand, ice cream truck, anything in the damn community is getting ran the fuck off the block. I guarantee you that. Boy, you talking to foundational black Americans. The people that made something out of nothing forever. Shit, you better try again. You're talking to the most persevering lineage on earth and trying to tell us what we can't do. When you talk about perseverance, you better start by telling us how great we are. Fuck you mean. You talking to the greatest. You talking to the architects. Try again. Motherfucker, they talking to us like we tethers and shit. They talking to us like we latch on to everybody else, like we don't build. How you gonna come to the lineage that built the United States of America and tell us that we wouldn't know what to do with money in the United States of America? There wouldn't be money in America if we didn't create this country. There wouldn't be $1, there wouldn't be a quarter, there wouldn't be a nickel if foundational black Americans didn't build this country. The wealth that was generated that made this country great was built on us. How you gonna come to the lineage that created the wealth for this country and tell us we wouldn't know what to do with generational wealth? Man, they backwards as fuck. Backwards as fuck, and they hustling backwards as fuck. Yeah, hey homie, don't come over here and project, yo, I can't build a school on us. Don't come over here and project, yo, I can't get a green card or citizenship over here on us. I ain't never did nothing with my life, so let me go hate on them. You better go look in the mirror. We certified. And family, to make that even more fucked up, do y'all know that this man done popped up on Clubhouse? Yes, he done popped up on Clubhouse. Now, didn't I say he acting like an op? And we all know Clubhouse is the op hotline. He done popped up on Clubhouse talking down on reparations. Notice he don't come over to Twitter because he understands Black Twitter runs that. So he stays clear of the certifieds who will give some real pushback. And he pops up on Clubhouse making all types of straw man arguments about our reparations claim.
Doing anything with the money we already have access to and choosing to sit around waiting and begging for reparations. When you do that, you basically give your oppressor the power to dictate your destiny when you say ridiculous things like we can't fix ourselves until we get reparations. Excuse
Pause.
me.
Nobody said that. Once again, he's just making shit up. Stop. Nobody said that we needs reparations to repair ourselves. We say it is a debt owed. Just like a debt is owed to anybody they come and collect. The very fact that he's just making shit up. And everything that he makes up is always anti-us and it's anti-us getting cash reparations. Nobody said that we need it. Where the fuck did he get that from other than he's doing it on purpose? Because he is an op who wants to stop foundational black Americans from getting cash reparations because he feels that threatens his Pan-African ideology. That is the cold point. Everyone sees it and it is framed. No dispute, no debate about it.
How can we get some money from the government? How can we get some money from some white corporations? We want white people to do everything for us. We still do. Even with the reparations movement, we are a people filled with excuses and we don't want to take responsibility for ourselves.
Damn. He said we are a people who refuse to take responsibility. Family, don't that sound like it came straight from Fox News? Is that Sean Hannity? Is that Bill O'Reilly? Hell, is that Jesse Lee Peterson? We are a people who refuse to take responsibility. That sounds a whole lot like lift yourself up by the bootstraps. God damn, this is the guy who is running around trying to act like he supports all black movements. And he said we are a people who refuse to accept responsibility. Family, I would never say that about our people. Never. Because I know we are the most persevering, most prideful, most strong people on the planet. And all the shit that we got to deal with, when you got to deal with anti-black racism from the moment you get here till the moment you check out, and you got to make something during all that where our kids got to deal with anti-black racism. Let me tell you something. Did a Tatiana Jefferson refuse to take responsibility? Did Corinne Gaines refuse to take responsibility? Did Sam DuBose refuse to take responsibility? Akai Gurley, did he refuse to take responsibility? That man said we are a people that refuse to take responsibility. Dr. Umar has officially reached the PONR, the point of no return. You can't say some shit that off code and ever hit a U-turn and come back and speak that real shit again. Certifies won't trust you. Certifies won't trust you. Family, when your words sound exactly the same as the dominant society, flag. When your words sound exactly the same as the tether, flag. Nobody I know who's qualified would ever say no shit like that. That man said we are full of excuses. So I guess the victims of anti-black racism just make excuses. Now that's funny because he's always making excuses about what goes on over there in the diaspora though. He makes excuses why they don't own nothing. He makes excuses why they got billions of people but still get their ass whooped and their resources stole. You bring up Africa right now, he gonna make a bunch of excuses. You bring up foundational black Americans right now, he's gonna start sounding like a supremacist. He says, how can we get some money from the government? How can we get some money from W's? Like we out here begging. Like this ain't owed to us. That whole logic is basically saying we are beggars. We ain't work for shit. We need to pull each other up by the bootstraps and quit complaining. The same shit you can hear on Fox News. Family, get your remote control, go to Fox News right now, and you'll see the same exact thing. Guarantee you. Matter of fact, go to any supremacist household you know in America, and you'll hear the same exact thing. We ain't begging, this is what's owed. We ain't asking, we demanding. We coming to get our check. And then to make what's fucked up even more fucked up, right after he said no reparations and we're people who refuse to take responsibility, he followed up and said, but you can donate to my school. Right now, keep the payments coming on in. We gonna have a grand opening very soon. Been saying this since 2011, but it's coming soon, y'all. You can't make this shit up, I ain't lying. Yes, he did. We say run the reparations. He say run the donations. He said go ahead and log on to drkubarvasquez.org/cash app, decimal point, __, 355. Click on my picture, do a circle, come back, click on it again, and donate 20s, 50s, and 100s. We'll take anything, and you can do it all right now for $9.99.
He's there. So I encourage your listeners, please go to my website, drumarjohnson.com, and click on the Cash App, click on the PayPal. The Cash App is $FDMG School. I repeat, $FDMG School. The PayPal is paypal.me/FDMG Academy. I repeat, FDMG Academy on PayPal, FDMG School on the Cash.
All that information on how to give him donations, but all that hate and spite when it come to getting us reparations.
Now the next thing we want to do is we got to be prepared to start answering some of these people going to be opposed to reparations for black folk. They're going to come at you in three different ways. The first group that's going to come after you are going to be whites. You can rest assured right now that 99% of all white people in America are opposed to reparations for black folk. So be ready to deal with them. The second group you got to deal with are going to be black folk.
You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations. You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations.
I do not think that we deserve reparations for slavery. I was never a slave in this country, and I think that the idea, if you think that you're going to get more than $200 from the government, okay, this entire debate is just it's a joke, okay? It's never going to happen. Do you think that we're the only group? I'm just going to ask you this question that has had something awful happen to them in this country.
You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations. You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations.
She took him to school on the whole notion that ancestors of black slaves are owed reparations. Reparations are an entitlement.
You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations. You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations.
They're rooted in the desire to be compensated for the oppression suffered by others. Entitlement handicaps the mind and undermines productivity. America does not owe me. I owe America.
I said that Dr. Umar's reparations position is no different than Candace Owens and no different than Jason Whitlock's. And there you go. Receipts, another certified spoiler.
Did you ask for reparations for any of the Negro things you do on a daily basis? I have never seen you ask for reparations to buy or pay for none of the shit you like to do.
You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations. You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations.
But you said the money would help us.
No, it won't.
I'm here to tell y'all, listen to me now. I don't care how much money they give you in reparations, and I've already made it clear I don't want any money, right?
You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations. You're gonna have all kind of black folk in this country gonna be opposed to reparations.
It won't help you. Do you want to know why? Because the problem of the Negro is profoundly psychological. It's not monetary. You blow $2 trillion a year.
When you look at our deepest rooted problems, no money can fix them.
So family, let me ask you this right now. He say the money ain't gonna help. If you come home and your lights is off, is the money gonna help or hurt? Get the lights back on. If somebody gets sick and people can't pay the hospital bills, is the money gonna help or hurt pay the hospital bills? If you go out to your car, if you gotta take your kids to school, but you ain't got no gas in the car, is money gonna help or hurt you getting gas in your car? According to Dr. Umar, it ain't gonna help. So according to us, Dr. Umar need to sit his ass down. Damn. Now somebody gonna say, well, he didn't mean it this way and all this. All Dr. Umar did was gave you a Pan-African excuse on why not. They gave you the straight up coon excuse. He gave you the Pan-African off-code excuse. All he did was twisted a few words, changed a few things around, but he said the same shit. He don't want us to get reparations. When it comes to reparations, family, it's cut and dry. Either you support it or you don't. I don't want to hear a motherfucker use a bunch of big words to confuse us. I don't want to hear a motherfucker use a bunch of phrases to confuse us. I don't want nobody to run us in a circle and spin us back around just so they can cover their lie. Either you're for it or you're against it, and your energy and your actions will be clear. And his energy and his actions are very clear. He's anti-foundational Black American reparations. I don't give a damn how many times he says he is and then says 30 other things why we should. I don't give a damn how many times he said he supports them and then gives us 50 other times why it's bad. I know somebody who's off code when I see him, and I know somebody who's anti-reparations when I hear him. The same way I can hear that shit from a Republican, the same way I can hear that shit from a Democrat, I can hear that same shit with a Pan-African. And we hear that shit loud and clear. And this is what we doing, family. We drawing a line in the sand. When it comes to reparations, we're not gonna play that game. See, they played that game with supremacy for years. What is supremacy? We don't know yet. Let's figure it out. We should all have a conversation. We understand that they always want to muddy the waters. They want to play both sides of the argument. They're always trying to confuse us and deceive us just when it comes to simple racism. When Breonna Taylor was harmed, they played the game. When Trayvon Martin was harmed, they played the game. When Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, Freddie Gray, Jordan Davis, Jalen Walker, when all of them were harmed, they played this confusion game. And we ain't gonna play that game with reparations. It's gonna be cut and dry. You're not gonna run us down the block, not with our lineage, not with our heritage, not with our culture, not with what is rightfully ours. If they think they're gonna play the same camouflage, little sneaky, little snake, little undermine game with reparations, it ain't gonna happen. And it all starts with us drawing lines in the sand. Don't let nobody come around here and say, but he meant, or it could be, we not sure what he said. Oh, you just used a small little part of what he said. Fuck that. We gonna be cut and dry with it. Either your ass is on or off. This jumbo jet gonna take off with or without your ass. And that's what it is. Right now, we gonna be our own reparations task force. You feel me? We're not gonna sit back and let nobody do it. See, we're gonna take command We are going to control the reparations conversation. Because family, if we do not control this reparations conversation right now, we're going to blink and everybody else is going to have it. You already see all the little slimy fucking fingers and hands trying to grab it and turn it. Every other group's trying to make a claim. You got folks from way over in Africa. You got folks from South America. You got each political party. You got Pan-Africans. You got black folks here in America that are trying to get their fingers on reparations. Family, if you hit the lotto and you got a, I don't know, $10 million lotto ticket, and then your phone started ringing every 5 seconds. Your doorbell started ringing. Motherfuckers started showing up out of nowhere. Your third, fifth, fourth cousin on your auntie side started showing up. You better protect that goddamn ticket. And that's exactly what reparations is. It's a lottery ticket to all these other people. And everybody's going to want to come and get it. Everybody's going to use every single tactic they can do. Let me tell you something. Folks get sleazy and desperate when it comes to regular supremacy. What you think they're going to do with reparation supremacy? Folks get sleazy and dirty with regular anti-black racism. What you think they're going to do with anti-black racism that got trillions of dollars on it? Trillions of dollars that are going to come to us. What you think they're going to do? They're going to get real dirty. So family, we got to understand that reparations is the biggest, most important policy in the United States of America right now. It's bigger than the Ukrainian war. It's bigger than the immigration crisis. It's bigger than the Republican versus the Democrat. This is all about keeping the people who built this country down and sustaining a system of supremacy. This is the only thing that can flip supremacy upside down, and it is our right to take it. Because let me tell you something, if they take this reparations claim from us, they're going to pass down reparations to their children. And it's going to cast a shadow over our children. So it is that serious. So right now, all of my riders, all my certifieds, my B1s, my FBAs, my freedmen, we are taking control over reparations. And what's the first thing you do when you take control over reparations? You find any little opposer, decoy, opposition, front, back, side to side, overt, covert, sideways, Pan-African, and you G-check them and you draw that line in the sand. That is how you enforce it. That's how we're enforcing it. And that way, reparations are going to come home to us, the rightful owners, the people who built this country. No debate, won't apologize, and no compromise. All about us. Y'all know, Certified Black Society, we've been on one. Unapologetically on code. We've been hammering everybody who's off code. We've been putting that line in the sand straight up and down. All the masses, little pets, all the prepaid bucks, whoever, anybody who does not represent us, and I don't give a damn how much camouflage they put on, how many times they twist their words, how many times they try to make it look like they down. We see them, we spot them, we expose them, and we run them off the block. It's clean house time. It is clean house time. It's getting too real. Family, anytime you start getting closer to your destiny, you got to be even more severe with enforcing the code. And as I always say, it's all of our jobs to enforce the code. When you come to somebody's house, it's the mother and father's job to enforce the rules. When you go to your grandparents' house, it's the grandparents' job to enforce the rules. It's the same exact thing with Certified Black Society, Foundational Black American, Certified American Freedmen. It is our job and our job only to enforce the rules of what's going to go on and what is not going to go on. And nobody can tell us otherwise. You can't have any of these fake spokespersons coming out there trying to tell us how we need to regulate our code. Because if you leave it up to the coon, we gonna be cooning forever. Trust me, back in slavery, the folks out there that was tap dancing for massa, if they had their way, they'd be tap dancing today. They'd have been tap dancing in 1619, 1719, 1819, 1919, 2019, 3019, and beyond. Forever. They want to be internal tap dancers. They want to be internal butter biscuit chasers. The Butter Biscuit Brigade don't stop. There's no going away. You cannot reform it. You cannot rehabilitate it. They don't wake up tomorrow and have a change of heart. That is it. They don't even want to change in flavor. They want the same biscuit all the goddamn time. That's all they want. So we got to understand that, because what they really want to do is they want to create a coon heaven. All right, let's say this right now. All the folks who come out and say, I speak on behalf of the black community, or as a black man, or as a black woman, they want to create a condition and an environment of coon heaven, where you can coon all day long, get all the butter biscuits. They want a lifetime supply of butter biscuits. They want to go to their fucking mailbox, they see butter biscuits. They want the UPS truck to pull up with a box of butter biscuits. They want the FedEx truck to pull up with a box of butter biscuits. They want an envelope full of biscuits. They want a telegram of biscuits. They want an EBT of biscuits, a food stamp of biscuits. They want 20% off of all new biscuits on the shelves. They want butter biscuits for life, and they are willing to do, say, or act any way they can as long as they can get it. They are on a lifetime butter biscuit diet. and they want to create a world where you can swirl all day long and then come and still tell black folks what they needs to do. They want a world where you can throw black folks under the bus all day long and then come and tell us what we needs to do. They want a world where they can always go in front of massa and say, I'm sorry for those bad black folk now. Them bad black folks is messing things up for me. Let me go apologize. They want to have power that they don't have. And since they don't have it, they gotta run to massa and act like they do. Van Jones has no power in the black community, so he has to go and act like he's speaking on behalf of us. Bullshit. Charles Barkley has no power. He's gotta go act like he's speaking on behalf of us. Stephen A. Smith has no power, and he has to go act like he's speaking on behalf of us. And then they get mad when we tell them, hell to the no. That means we're gonna continue to tell them hell to the no. Understand, us being on code and enforcing our code and letting these folks know they ain't black, they ain't got no clout, no cachet, no credentials. They can't come around us. They mean nothing. That is a worst nightmare. I said it before. I'll say it again. You don't have to do much to these folks other than tell them that they're irrelevant. Tell them they have no weight. Tell them ain't nobody listening. G-check them, roast them, clown them. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do or say that lets them know that they hold no weight in the community, that breaks them. That's why they always having temper tantrums. They want to have no resistance. They want to go out there and throw us under the bus and then everybody gives them an applause. But when we come back and we counter that by saying, oh, that person's a nobody. That person's a nobody. Nobody's listening to his ass. He's saying a lot of things, but ain't nothing being said. When we say things like that, when we allow everybody in the whole world to know, nah, we doing this. When we create our own energy and it shows you the difference between the certifieds and the counterfeits, they have no power. Why do you think all the coons right now have no power? Why do you think they've all been rendered useless? Just simply by roasting them. Let me tell you something. We can end cooning right now simply by roasting their ass. You don't believe me? Look at Roland Martin. Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black have roasted Roland Martin to the point where he is a laughing stock. And not just a laughing stock with us. He's always been a laughing stock with us. He is a laughing stock amongst his own peers, his own constituents. He is a clown, a joke. Nobody deals with Roland. You want to know why? Because they're telling Roland, I thought you said that you had power in the black community. How come these 17 million black folks clown you every day? How come people roast you? How come people make fun of the way you talk? The way you sweat. That motherfucker be sweating too. How come everybody clowns you every time you do a show? How come your numbers is trash? I thought you said that you had power, Mr. Roland. You lied to us, Roland. You said that you was a good coon, Roland. You said you had influence, Roland. You said that you can make black folks do whatever you want to, Roland. You said that you can control these black folks, Roland. That's false coon advertisement. And you know what happens next. All those butter biscuits you like, gone. And then Roland just start having a whole goddamn fit. He start rolling on the fucking ground, begging, singing. Hey, he'll break out one of his butter biscuit spirituals. Not a Negro spiritual, nah. They'll bust out into one of their butter biscuit spirituals. He'll say, boss, we coons every day just so you don't take our butter biscuits away. Hey, this is how it go down, family. Hey, this is it right here. We all won. Y'all want to know what it's like in that Zaddy's principal's office when they get that phone call and they got to walk their ass right on down the hallway and go answer to Zaddy on why they cannot control black folks, why certified black society is running shit, why foundational black Americans are running shit, why American freedmen are running shit. This is exactly how it plays out. So Roland rolls his big ass right on down. He tries to squeeze into the fucking seat and he starts getting nervous. Zaddy start walking around him and shit. Got a goddamn ruler, slam the ruler on the fucking table. Roland jumps and shit. Oh yeah, oh it's hostile. Oh, it's hostile, family. Hey, they don't need to worry about us. Oh, we gonna continue to do our certified thing and get to the money. Our reparations is coming. They better worry about Zaddy. Oh yeah, cause they signed that coon contract that they would be able to do all these coonified things. And they coonified things ain't working no more. And now they got to answer for that shit. Yeah, hey, we got a live camera inside of Zaddy's principal's office, and this is how it looks. Told you. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. That's how it look right there. When Roland got to do some answering. Oh yeah, all that fucking chicken grease, all that lard, that shit start coming out of his pores. He's shaking in that funky ass dashiki he wears every day. Scared. Zaddy said his coon contract is officially voided. Don't be surprised you don't see these motherfuckers no more. Don't be surprised. They days is numbered. They out here false coon advertising. That's how it go. Because he knows what's next. Termination. Void of contract. And if you take a coon's butter biscuits away, they ain't got nothing left in life because that's the only thing they live for. Butter biscuits. Crumbs. Goddamn right. Oh yeah. Van Jones too. Stephen A. Smith too, Charles Barkley, all their asses. Yes, indeed. Barack Obama, him too. He got to answer to Zaddy, so they tell him straight up like that. Roland, explain yourself. And then Roland said, beep, 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 that TBA and Tariq, and then he gets mad, he starts explaining, he starts slurring and every goddamn thing, and then we got him where we want him. Same with Stephen A. Smith. Why you think Stephen A. Smith will get loud and then back his car up and run it back? It's because we're allowing everybody to know who got weight and who don't. But now when they come over here on this side and they say we got our own thing, then they really get shook. So that's the power of it. We can simply roast these coons, Sambos, butter biscuit chasers, and get them out the paint. And that's exactly what we've been doing. Simply letting folks know by giving them that good foundational Black American work, that does the job. And we're on our job. Speaking of being on your job, look at the power moves we've been making. Tell me a power move that a coon has made. Right now, if we want to talk about winners and losers, we want to talk about champions and chumps, tell me one power move that a coon has made. Tell me any effect that a coon has made. They'll go on TV, they'll have all the money, motherfuckers will sit there and send them in all types of cash. They'll get donations for cooning and still can't do nothing. That's why we say they ain't getting no premiums. So you're getting paid, you're getting subsidized, you're getting money under the table, over the table. You have a job to do and you still can't do the job. You still ain't made one power move. Foundational Black Americans, we got the world talking about reparations. Foundational Black Americans, we got reparations on the table. We talking cash money amounts. Foundational Black Americans was just in Washington, D.C. with the biggest reparations rally ever. What has a coon done? Trended on social media and got their ass roasted by everybody? What has a coon done? Got their Coon Association membership revoked? Van Jones. What have they done? There's no power moves. We ain't worried about these motherfuckers. Hell nah. We got to boot up their ass so goddamn far they can't sit down. Foundational Black Americans are in full control. Certified Black Society is in full control. All a coon is a motherfucker on the corner just chirping and ain't nobody listening. Understand that back in the day, these motherfuckers used to come around and say all types of inflammatory shit. They can't do that. They can't sit there and go and tell Joe Biden, we gonna help y'all make a crime bill like you did in 94. Try that shit now and see what happens. Try that shit now and see if the new black media and the black grassroots don't put an end to it. Try it. Ain't gonna work. They can't go around and say, well, you knows the black communities, we's really the bad ones because we need to get our lives together. Go ahead and try that right now and see if the new black media and the black grassroots don't let you have it. They can't do anything, they can't move an inch without having to deal with us, and we ain't the ones you want to deal with. So all the power is clearly on our side, and as we say, coons are going out of business. Coons are going out of business. Coons used to have a big ass goddamn high rise. Now they living in a little TP. They got a little motherfucking TP on the corner because they can't pay their coon rent, because them coon premiums ain't coming in, and Zaddy's starting to give them decreases in pays and demotions. That's what happens when the new black grassroots gets on our job and we stay on it. As a matter of fact, when you see them running around and trying to go on television and speak on behalf of us, everybody knows that's just a hustle and it don't stick. Y'all remember when Van Jones was on TV and he kept talking about homophobia and he kept saying black people, black people, black people. He kept trying to say that. He said it like 17 times over and over and over and over again. Same as Charles Barkley. I got to apologize on behalf of the black communities and shit. They said that. Both of them did. And you could tell they already have a script to go tell. Back in the old days, they would have had that script and wouldn't nobody have said nothing. Nowadays, they said that shit and we was on it before their ass got off. Before the fucking cameras quit rolling, we was already roasting their ass. They sat down on their little news show, talked to the little news anchor, and about 2 seconds in, Foundational Black Americans was already roasting them. And then they had nothing to do. That was their coon check. They was getting a coon check on television. See, Van Jones, he's a clown. I mean, listen, like I said, this guy Van Jones be crying all the time. See, when he started crying on television, that was kind of like his bat signal. All right, that was him trying to talk to the dominant society and say, look, I cry. No, you want a weak, defeated, docile black man who's the bald-headed black Karen. I can do what Karen does. I cry like Karen. I need Kleenexes like Karen. I need to be consoled like Karen. He probably want to be held like Karen. And he probably, when he goes home to his wife, he probably gets held and she probably rocks him and cradles him and shit to sleep. You feel, hey, it ain't that far-fetched. You don't put nothing past these folks. You understand what I'm saying? And this motherfucker was crying all the time. As we speak about roasting folks on social media, anytime something would even happen, black folks say, I don't know what's going on, but I guarantee Van Jones somewhere crying. And then they would put up a photo and he'd be crying. This motherfucker was crying when bad things happen. He was crying when good things happen. Just tears of a clown all day long. So when he was sitting there crying, he was basically telling the dominant society, pick me, pick me. That was the pick me, all right? The pick me is really the black man who goes on television and cries all damn day long. Because trust me, the dominant society's watching. Oh yeah, they say, oh, we can get him. Oh yeah, we can use him right there. We gonna send him in on every single thing to push every single agenda we have. And that's exactly what he does. He pushes every single agenda they have. This is how you can tell you're dealing with a coon. It's because everything, I'm talking about 100 times out of 100, they agree with the dominant society. During that whole runoff and the whole debate between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock, Herschel Walker made a point. He said, you sit here right now, Raphael Warnock, and you talk all that shit, but you literally voted 99.9% of the time with Joe Biden. And that's exactly what happens with these coons. They vote 100 out of 100% of the time with the dominant society. So you see exactly who they work for. And their rhetoric is just as dangerous as the dominant society. See, what they want to do, they want to come around and say all this bad rhetoric about foundational black Americans because y'all know the dominant society loves that. The dominant society loves nothing more than for somebody who's black to say something about black people. So they can say, we didn't say it. Your own kind said it. You feel what I'm saying? They love doing that. They love pointing the finger and say, I didn't say that. Charles Barkley said it. Van Jones said it. Stephen A. Smith said it. They use these folks as a proxy to say what they really genuinely are saying behind closed doors. But it provides a dominant society a shield, a cover. They can write a script, give it to Van Jones. Van Jones goes out there and says it, goes on a whole goddamn world tour saying, well, you know, as a black person now, we bad. As a black person, I apologize. On behalf of all black people on the planet Earth, I feel that we need to be better. And the dominant society say, we didn't say that now. That's what y'all said. So that's why we rejecting these guys, clowning them, stripping them of all the power they thought they have. And now the dominant society can't point to them no more. See, we've taken away the ability for the dominant society to point to these guys. Back in the old days where the dominant society could say, Van Jones said it, Clyburn said it. Well, now we say, but Van Jones and Clyburn are clowns and don't nobody respect them. They're going to say, oh, damn, shit, can't use them anymore. So we've stripped them away from every piece of power they thought they have. Coons got no power out here in these streets. They words hold no weight. They actions hold no weight. They can't come around us. That's another thing. The very fact that they can't come around none of our settings. Where they gonna come? Where they gonna come? It's very easy for somebody to see that these folks don't ever come around real black folks. So you can't get on television and say, I speak on behalf of black people. But then when we look at you, you always around the dominant society. You always around people of color. You ain't never in our functions. So the optics of them talking about that on behalf of black people shit looks very motherfucking bad. And we are the ones who've done that. We're not just sitting back watching this shit. We out here breaking it down. So they can say whatever. They can read any script, any fucking coon teleprompter they wish they had. But foundational black Americans and certified American freedmen, we're the ones out here making real power moves. And for the first time in modern history, our moves are going way further than theirs. And the black grassroots is wrapping circles around the black mainstream and the black boule. So this is why all these new black boule pick-me's are out here saying, pick me, boss. I'll do a better job than the last guy. I can really infiltrate the black community. And we send their ass packing it home the same way we sent the last motherfucker packing it home. Easy work. All the powers right here. We are simply roasting coons out of business. Ain't even gotta lift a finger. Ain't gotta lift a goddamn finger. Go ahead and log on to your social media. Why you think they always blocking people? Why you think that? Half the people in the chat have been blocked by Roland Martin. Oh yeah. Half the people in the chat have been blocked by Stephen A. Smith, Van Jones, every Democratic shield. Our brother TBA was just saying the other night that Roland Martin will unblock him, say some shit, and then block him again. Boy, we all in their fucking head. We all in their head because coons know that we got the power to cancel their ass. That's the big secret that don't nobody talk about other than right here on the Black Alpha Network. Smash that like button and please subscribe to the channel, family. This is just another block party and we working right here. Big family gathering. Salute to everybody in the chat. Y'all know how we do. Right here, we always talking about we got the power over them. Oh no, see, folks be running around here all mad and upset and shit saying, man, I'm just tired of all the cooning. Man, who? Tired of what? I don't get tired of people that we can cancel like that. Nah, coons ain't here to be stressed out over. Coons ain't here to get upset over. Maybe 20 years ago, when they was helping get crime bills and shit written, that shit don't fly no more. That shit don't fly no more. Oh no, a coon ain't nothing but a mere fly flying around. And we got a bunch of fly swatters, point blank. We don't get tired of somebody that we can have out of business simply by roasting, simply by G-checking, simply by running their ass off the block. Let me tell you something. In the last 5 years, we've ran more coons off the block than coons done ran to the block. Let me say that again. In the last 5 years, family, we done ran more coons off the block than coons done ran to the block. We done put more coons out of business than coons who went into business. We done put more coons in the unemployment line than coons have gotten jobs. Who's got the power to do that? Us. Who's got momentum? Us. Who's on game? Us. Who's on code? Us. Remember, being on code solves everything. When you're on code, the money will come. When you're on code, the tangibles will come. When you're on code, the mobility will come. And when you're on code, the coons will disappear. And simply by us being on code, the coons have slowly disappeared. Think about it, family. There's coons you don't even see anymore. There's coons you don't even see. I want you to just think about coons you've seen every single day 5 years ago. Remember during the Trump administration? Remember all the Trump coons? Where they at? Where they at? You don't even see the Barack Obama coons no more. The Joe Biden coons are disappearing. He been president for 2 years, and those coons disappeared in 2 weeks. What does that tell you? Is that they can't show their face. And when they can't show their face, they can't do their job. If they can't do their job, Zaddy's principal's office and a coon contract is getting void. And then they found out what we knew all along. There ain't no future in cooning, especially when certified is in the building. And certifieds are in the building. Soon as we showed up, they slid out. Soon as we came into place, they found the exits. Soon as we put it down, in this era, they vanished. And that is all a credit to us. That is all because of us. And let me tell you this, family, it's getting worse for them every fucking day, bruh. Every fucking day. Don't be surprised if you don't see Van Jones again for years. Oh, do not be surprised. I'm telling you. Because that little stunt he tried to pull out, oh, that was an epic failure. Epic failure, big loss. It didn't work out for none of them. As a matter of fact, it made every single thing they did look bad. And that's another thing, family. Remember, the more they get off code, the more we get on code. So in essence, they end up waking black folks up by trying to put us to sleep. That's the thing that backfires on the dominant society, is that they'll try some bullshit. And us being foundational black Americans who got that real radar and we see through the bullshit, we'll all spot it out. And then next thing you know, now we own it, now we handling it. What happened when Barack Obama came out here? He claimed to be a first black president and his bullshit woke black folks up. He said he was gonna do all these things for black folks. We watched him do everything for everybody else. His name is trash in these streets. What happened with Joe Biden? He came out here and said, the black community, I got your back.
The African American community stood up again for me. You've always had my back, and I'll have yours.
And then we sat back and watched him do everything for every other group, the Ukrainians, the Afghans, and black folks got on game, and his name is trash in these streets. As a matter of fact, the whole goddamn Democratic Party's name is trash in these streets. So whenever they think they try to con us or game us, all that shit does is strengthen us. Because my sister gonna pick up on that bullshit and she gonna tell her brother. My brother gonna pick up on that bullshit and he gonna tell his sister. Next thing you know, you got a whole plethora of black folks who all done spotted it. And I say, you seen that shit? Then they say, you saw that shit? I said, we both saw that shit. And then guess what? Now we checking their ass. You don't want that. Hey, I'm telling you, that FDA smoke hit different and we hit different and we come with it. And when we come, we on target every time. So the code is stronger than ever. So a coon ain't even on our radar. All I know is that they better worry about that butter biscuit supply getting cut short because it's house cleaning time and we clean the house on everybody. So they try to pull con games, all that do is make the code stronger. They try to play trick bags, all that does is make the code stronger. They try to scheme on us, and all that does is make the code stronger. And when the code is stronger, supremacy's weaker. And when supremacy's weaker, coons vanish. That is all the domino effect brought to you by foundational black Americans. Damn, we winning. And family, this is what winning looks like. This is what winning feels like, and get used to it, because all we're gonna do is continue to win. Stack them up. And that's what happens when you're on code. I tell you, the code equals a lot of things. And the main thing that the code equals is winning. And the best way you do that is by seeing who's certified and who's counterfeit, who's on code and who's off code. The best part about all this is that we recognize an op quick. It don't matter if you a tether, we gonna see you. It don't matter if you a shield, we gonna see you. It don't matter if you a POC, we gonna see you. Anybody. And I don't care how much camouflage they put on. I don't care how much they cover it up. I don't care how good they are with their words. They could be a clever liar. You ain't gonna get through that FBA door. Hell to the no, because the gatekeeping is serious. The gatekeeping is serious, the paperwork is serious, and we have finally sat down and identified how to handle all of these outliners. Anybody who comes at us with smoke is getting G-checked. The tethers, we gonna untether their ass and send them home. The Democratic shields, we gonna have their ass going to Zaddy's principal's office, and all the COONs, we gonna roast their ass. We gonna continue to roast them. I'm telling you, what's the easiest thing to do in life? The easiest thing to do in life, especially if you're a foundational black American and you grew up in our culture, the easiest thing to do in life is roast somebody. And when you can roast somebody and you can neutralize all that bullshit they doing, oh, you in game. all the way serious. And that's exactly what we do, and I'm telling you. They get paid to undercut us, we roast their ass, they disappear. They get subsidized to throw us under the bus, we roast their ass, they disappear. They get platforms, television shows, news networks, high profile jobs, and promotions. And all we got to do is roast their ass and they disappear and we win. Well, goddamn it, we gonna keep winning. Because that's exactly what the fuck we doing. So you want a real easy victory, the smoothest, most gracious victory you could ever have? You see a coon, point them out, and roast their ass. Damn right. So I support the clowning of all coons and the roasting of all coons. I am Black Alpha Network and I approve this message. Roast their ass. Because we got power. Y'all know we got power with our words. That foundational Black American roast goes far. Look at the effect that it's had on tethers. Yeah, we will literally change the world just by roasting folks. Our roast game is so goddamn strong, we will have a motherfucker wearing that shit on their back for 50 years. Look at the tethers. They be talking about, I don't like what you told me in preschool. Motherfucker, you 65. You see what I'm talking about? Hey, they couldn't handle the preschool us roasting their ass. What they gonna do with the adult us? Hey, I'm telling you, our roast game is so strong, we will run a motherfucker out of business. We will put a motherfucker in the coon protection program. They will go away, I'm telling you. That's how strong it is. And you ain't gotta lift a finger to do it. And it's something we all do naturally. Like I said, if we roasting folks in recess and they carrying that shit with them to the nursing home, man, you know our game is tight. It's that easy, it's that simple. And if we can do that to a tether, what you think we're gonna do to a coon? What you think? Why you think Van Jones disappeared? Hey, matter of fact, how many times do we got motherfuckers deactivating their accounts? They not deactivating their accounts just for fun. They deactivating their accounts because they can't handle that FBA roast. That's why when my brothers and sisters get on there, and by the way, I be seeing some of y'all, and y'all be saying some shit I be looking at like, damn, that shit funny as hell. I see why that motherfucker went and deactivated his account. That goddamn roast game was serious. Brothers and sisters be putting up some game on them. The memes, the posts, the tweets, the texts, every goddamn thing. They can't handle it because they so thin-skinned. They not solid. They broke. You gotta understand, when you're dealing with a coon, you're dealing with somebody who came to the game broken anyway. You ain't gotta do much. Like I said, there's no power in cooning because coons don't even have a spine. Spineless, shameful, low budget, all the ingredients to get clout. I mean, look at Roland Martin. The man literally beep beep beeps when he talks. Don't come around FBA with that shit. Hell no, you in deep trouble. Y'all know when somebody come around and they fuck up and then we spot them and they know we spotted them, then they try to pack their shit and get out of Dodge? That's what the fuck he better do. Look at Stephen A. Smith. I mean, the man's hairline quit growing in 1981. And don't get me started on Van Jones. You want to talk about somebody who's got everything going bad for him. It's self-explanatory. You can look at that motherfucker for 2 seconds and already see he a clown. He's the only black man that gives you Becky vibes. I don't even get Karen vibes. This motherfucker is Becky. Have you seen him and his ex-wife? Man, listen, he got so much Becky in him, I was about to call the Me Too movement on her. She looked like she just come home and throw his ass around the house. He looked like a battered woman. I feel sorry for his ass. I was like, somebody please help him. Please give a courtesy check, call the police. I don't know what's going on over there. She might have his ass in a headlock. I feel very sorry for him. She came home and that dinner wasn't on the table. Somebody was getting their ass put in the figure 4 leg lock. God damn. So don't nothing he say get taken serious at all. When I get battered Becky vibes from a bald-headed black man, goddamn shame. Hold on, whoa. Battered Becky from a bald-headed black man. Fucked up. Case in point, point blank, roast them. So yes, family, none of these folks hold no weight. None of these folks are spokespeople, and none of these folks can even stand next to certified black society. So I 110 support the roasting of all coons, and you will cancel them all out in the process because that FBA roast game is strong. Check their Twitter accounts if you don't believe me. A1. We putting it down today, family. I love y'all. This is what it is right here. This that head to the sky talk, not that head to the ground talk. Big motherfucking difference. And we rocking. Salute to y'all. And family, when you talk off code, when you talk weak, when you talk docile, you can't go no further than Van Nessa Jones. Van Nessa Jones is the main one out there running his mouth. Van Nessa Jones is the main one stumbling, fumbling, bumbling all over the goddamn place. Talking, ain't saying nothing, but in the same time, getting laughed at. Oh, yes, he is. Y'all heard that speech he gave. that apology. He tried to run it back, walk it back, and then when he realized that he couldn't run it back or walk back, he just disappeared. And I'm telling you, we're gonna make all of them vanish because they cannot stand the heat. So they gotta get their asses out the Friedman kitchen.
Let's start off with an apology. As this wave of hatred has been building against your community, we have rationalized over and over and over again. Shock to you, the pain to you, an African-American icon, and we act like we don't know where the hatred came from. And now it is a flood. And I want to say to you, I apologize for the silence of my community.
That officially was the Coon of the Year speech right there, family. Oh, and by the way, y'all check out the 3rd annual Black Alpha Network Coon of the Year 2022 on Twitter. We're going to have a space on that. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. I want to hear everybody's suggestions and nominees, and we're going to hand out that Coon Award. Yes, we are. My suggestion, his ass. Let me tell you something. I done heard some fucking tap dancing in my life. I done heard some butter biscuit chasing. I done heard some smuttery, and that shit right there takes the cake. Everything he said was made up. Everything he said was a reach, and everything he said was bullshit. The very first part that he fucked up on, and we gonna break this shit down, family. Yes, exposing. The first thing he said that was bullshit is he said we. No. Only time Van Jones ever needs to use the word we is when he's talking about the coon community. Because when he's talking about the black community, he's never been black any goddamn way. Yep, I said it. Yep, I said that a man with dark skin ain't black. Yep, I said that a motherfucker with some melanin ain't black because he ain't. Dark skin don't get you in. If Joe Biden can get on TV and say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, and everybody was cool with that, then I can say if your ass is a coon, you ain't black. And guess what? Van Jones ain't black. Black card took, snatched, pulled away. Goddamn right we done did. So not only has he had his coon membership revoked, he done had his black card confiscated. And ain't nothing wrong with confiscating it. You feel me? I learned a long time ago when I was a kid. Somebody told me that being black is not a color, being black is a privilege. And if you do not abide by those privileges, then your black card is revoked, and that's exactly what happened to him. But what we have to understand about all these people going around and making all these apologies on the black community, you got to understand, they're not apologizing for anything that the black community has done because the black community hasn't done a goddamn thing. Like I said, we out here getting our money focused on us. We ain't worried about none of these other groups. Trust and believe. So that's not what they're really apologizing for. Family, can I tell you what Van Jones is really apologizing for? Can I tell you what Charles Barkley is really apologizing for? Stephen A. Smith? They're really apologizing for being black. Yes, they're not apologizing for black people. They're not apologizing for the black community. They're apologizing for themselves. Because in the system of supremacy, black people have to view themselves the same way that supremacy views them. And anytime a black person apologizes, that's them saying, I agrees, massa, you right. I'm 3/5 of a human, just like you said I was. I'm a badass black man. And they're only there to validate supremacy's views about them. And if you do not validate supremacy's views, then you are viewed as a threat. That's why you see them come after any strong alpha black man or black woman. We're not out here validating the 3/5 of a human. Trust me, Van Jones wasn't invited there. Van Jones was summoned there. The same way these other communities wanted to summon Dave Chappelle, want to summon Bill Cosby. That's what they always do. That's their means of making you validate how they feels, and you can see that Van Jones feels the same exact way. That's what it's all about. Every time you see somebody apologizing, they're really just apologizing for being black. We're giving out Friedman translation. You got to understand, coons talking all types of coonified codes. They'll say things sideways, backwards, upside down. They already backwards as fuck anyway. So it's clear you ain't gonna be able to just understand what a coon is saying face value. That's cool, because us certifieds, we can give out the translation. When he said, I want to apologize, he's really saying, I want to apologize because I'm a black man with black skin and I don't want to be black. Oh yes, he did. That's exactly what he said. As a matter of fact, he said, I apologize twice in the beginning. Matter of fact, he started off by saying it. Apologizing was the first things he said. He said, I want to apologize. Wait. I want to apologize. Wait. He made it clear. He giving out 2 apologies. He's saying, Massa, I apologize that in the system of supremacy, I have black skin and I'm ashamed. That's what it is. It ain't got nothing to do with the black community. The black community ain't done nothing but be black and certified. He's really apologizing for his own skin color. He's saying, I wish my mama wasn't black. I wish my daddy wasn't black. I wish my grandma wasn't black. I wish everything about me was white. That's what he's really saying.
I am going to start off with an apology. For the silence of my community and for the speech of my profession.
And that's what you call buck breaking. That's somebody on their knees coming to master and saying, I submit. That right there is the defeated, docile black person. Oh yeah. So that's what his apology was about. Then when he says this,
when we were hit as a black community with appalling anti-black bigotry and racism that the whole world saw on a video, we expected and insisted that everyone stand and roar back against that hatred.
what that apology is really about, ain't no silence in the community. Matter of fact, let me say this. Black folks may have been silent. And I'm gonna tell you why black folks have been silent. Black folks been silent because we don't worry about nobody else. We focus on ourselves. That's why. So if there's ever any silence coming from the black community, it's because black folks are out here doing our own thing. Now, ain't it funny how one minute they'll say black folks are silent and they don't do anything to help other people. And then the next minute they'll turn around and say black folks are the most loudest ones who hurt us bad. Which one is it? Every community is running around saying that we're silent and don't help them, but those same communities are the ones trying to make us the face of their problems. Contradiction. And when somebody contradicts, somebody's full of shit. Exactly. So when he sat there and said, the silence of my community, let me tell you what that really was. That was him being in Zaddy's principal's office, and he's really apologizing because black folks is out here on code and not following the script. That's what it's really about. Didn't I say again? Receipts, receipts, receipts. Didn't I say that they gotta go in front of Zaddy and explain why they can't control black people? Family, man, goddamn, hold up, wait a minute. Spoilers, man, we on one. We on fire tonight. Turn up, subscribe to the Black Alpha Network, family, you know. Don't we always say that when a coon cannot control black folks, they have to go answer to Zaddy and tell them why they can't do it? So when he made his apology about the silence in the black community, he's really making an apology saying, I wish these folks would do what I told them to do, boss, but they won't do it because they on code, they certified, and they get into the reparations bag. I tries to stop them. I tries to get them involved. I tries to make them carry the weight for everybody else and hold everybody else's water and put on that jacket for everyone. But them certifieds have been doing that for 400 years and it ain't worked. And now this new black grassroots said, fuck all that. And they focusing on their goddamn self. And now we moving. That's what the problem is. So that apology about silence is really he's apologizing that we're on code. And he and they and nobody can do a goddamn thing about it. Translation. Boy, we got it for days. And we on it right here. We thorough all the way. Everything about this is pure fire. Yes. So those two apologies that he started off with, the first apology was him apologizing for being black because he understands that he doesn't really want to be black. And the second apology was him apologizing for us being on code. Goddamn right. You goddamn right. Now, when he went on and he said this part right here was basically his coon translation for, I tried to all lives matter black folks. That's why every time I'm on TV, I'm talking about this group, that group, that group. We're all people of color. Everybody all lives together as one now. We all the world. And he's trying to explain to massa why black folks are only focusing on themselves.
By the tens of millions, non-black people, to say we will not accept this sort of racism, this sort of violence, this sort of hatred on this planet. People march by the millions. And yet, as this wave of hatred has been building against your community, we have rationalized over and over and over again, responding not with a roar, but often with barely a squeak and sometimes a shrug.
You see? You see that right there? We asked everybody for help and they came out by the millions and the thousands. I didn't ask for that. Did y'all ask for that? Once again, whenever he talks about we, he should only refer to the coon community because that's the community he belongs to, because he damn sure don't belong to the black community. That's the bullshit. Let me tell you the real shit. The real shit is that we weren't asking for all the help. No, we weren't. We weren't asking for all the help. Black folks is out here saying, man, we're gonna do this on our own. As a matter of fact, we sat back and watched everybody sabotage and hijack our movement. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We watched how the Breonna Taylor and the George Floyd protests turned into a whole different thing. It turned into get rid of Trump and vote for Joe Biden. It turned into all lives matter. So wasn't no we again. Wasn't no we again. So he's trying to talk on behalf of us, reject. He's trying to speak on behalf of our movement, reject. And he's still trying to explain to massa. Now, let me say this as well. Another part, because this is a two-part coon statement. The first part of the coon statement is the all lives matter thing is failing, because that's really what it is. Everybody's summoning all these Sambos and saying, we spent so much money on multiculturalism. We spent so much money trying to dilute the black culture with everybody else's culture. We spent so much money trying to get black folks to say that they're African Americans, the POCs, they're minorities, they're disenfranchised. Why are they saying that they're foundationals? Why are they saying that they're freedmen? Why are they saying they're certified? That's not what we spent our money on, Van. We spent our money for people like you and people like Roland and Joy Reid and Bukhari Sellers to convince black folks to not say their own lineage. That's what it's all about, family. It's all about our lineage. We said the self-identification of certified American freedmen has been the ultimate game changer, because first comes self-identification, second comes separation, third comes reparation, and fourth comes regulation. And it's only 4 quarters in 100. And that's where we are. We're in the 4th quarter right now, family. We've already self-identified. We've already separated. We already get into the bag, and we already regulating. What more do they want? So he's got to explain why all lives matter didn't work. And on top of that, he's also got to say, we's been bad now. Y'all know it ain't ever a coon speech without the we's been bads. And this is what it's all about, because that's what Zaddy wants here. You notice that, right? They'll start clapping in. Yep. Tell us how bad you been. Tell us how y'all are ungrateful. Tell us how y'all unappreciative. Tell us how you are ashamed of being black. Come on, keep apologizing. Tell us how great we are. Tell us how bad you are.
Let's start off with an apology for the silence of my community. The silence of my community.
That right there, family, is framing the system of supremacy. When a black person goes in front of the dominant society and tells you, we're so bad here, we're so bad here, and you're so great here. You've done so much for us here, so much for us there, and we haven't done anything for you. You've given us this, and you've given us this, and you've given us this, but we haven't returned the favor. All that is somebody coming in and shining your shoes. That's exactly what it is. If you ever want to hear supremacy encapsulated in one event, that's what it was. That's why Vanessa Jones, Butter Biscuit Becky, is my nomination for Coon of the Year. And oh yeah, he kept babbling. Oh yeah, you know coons don't know when to be quiet. They don't know, especially when they're in front of Master. Boy, you get them in front of Master, they'll talk all goddamn month long. When they in apology mode, they'll apologize for shit they did as a kid. They'll sit up there and apologize for their whole life, because to him, his whole existence is bad because he thinks being black is bad. Why do you think they're always in a rush to apologize for the whole black community? Why do you think they feel the need to speak on behalf of the whole black community? It's because they think everybody black is wrongs. Everybody black is bads. Everybody black should apologize like he apologizes. Yes, he does. It's that same defeated mentality we talk about. Don't we say that these COONs are defeated, the docile, the passive, the weak, they hollow, they ain't solid? Don't we say that all the time? Yes, we do. But as he continued his butter biscuit babble, he said that he's humiliated. Yes, he did. He said, we feel we're left humiliated. You see him again trying to project his humiliation of self onto the whole community? Once again, we got receipts. We got them, family. Yes, we do. So as he continues to do his butter biscuit babble, we're going to continue to give you that Friedman translation. Listen.
As a result, we now have the shock to you, the pain to you, and the humiliation, and the humiliation, and the humiliation to us. The pain to you, and the humiliation
You see, we ain't got to say that they're defeated. He said he's humiliated. We ain't got to say that they're docile. He said he's humiliated. We ain't got to say that they're passive. He said he's humiliated. We ain't got to say he's weak. He said he's humiliated. We ain't got to say that he hates being black. He said he's humiliated. Those were his words. We didn't say that. Those is his words. We didn't put that butter biscuit babble in his mouth. That's what he chose to say based on how he feels about himself. So family, is it really about the black community? Is it really about black society? Is it really about foundational black Americans? Or is it about his own coon-ass brain? Yes, indeed.
Of having an African-American icon, and we act like we don't know where the hatred came from. And I want to say very clearly, when it was a drip, we did not turn it off. And now it is a flood. And I want to say to you, I apologize for the silence of my community. The silence is over. And I want to say to Kanye, who I know, yay, nay. Yay, nay. Yay, nay.
We done heard some shit before in our lives. But this motherfucker broke out into a song. Did not say that they'll sing a Butter Biscuit spiritual. Did not say it. I told y'all they will sing a Butter Biscuit spiritual. He went into a whole chant. Yay, nay, yay, nay. Hey, and his voice started rising and cracking and shit. He was trying to get a rise out the crowd. You can hear his pom-pom shaking. You can hear him kicking his leg. You can hear that Sambo cheerleader. He's out there saying, give me a W, give me an S, supremacy, supremacy, supremacy. Fuck out of here. Hell to the no. Man, get the fuck out of here. This man out here talking about Kanye West, trying to compare Kanye West to us, trying to compare himself to us. He said, when the attack came to us. What you mean, when? You talking about for 400 years? Is that what you talking about? He tried to reduce it to one situation into one summer. Desperation, family. Pure desperation. But that's what you get when you're dealing with a COON. Now, since we're giving out receipts on top of all of that, family, reparations. Understand, why do you think you're hearing everybody come out and start apologizing on behalf of black folks? The reason why everybody's coming out and apologizing on behalf of black folks is because this is their way of throwing a wrench in our reparations claim. They already tried to put the tethers on our task force, did not work. They already tried to make it about Jim Crow and just simple racism. As a matter of fact, every single distraction they've tried to use, we've rejected. I'm telling you, nothing works right now. They're throwing everything at us and we just swatting that shit left and fucking right. They have nothing to do. They have no more choices. So they're saying now, let's do what we call comparative bigotry. Let's make black folks the face of everybody so that takes away their justice claim. Understand this. Reparations means something was done bad to us. Apologizing means we did something bad to someone else. You see how they're trying to create that environment. Yes, we breaking it down today. They're trying to create an environment where black people are the apologizers so they can stop us from getting the reparations dollars. They want to create an environment to where we're viewed as the oppressor and not the oppressed. And they're trying to do that shit real sneaky. Did y'all see when those brothers and sisters went out, and I want to say it was in New York, and they were talking at a council, and they were talking about how another community follows them around the store. They're very anti-black. They hate every black person who comes through, and black people are treated very badly in this place. Did y'all see that?
This is not about felonies. It's about race. It's about black people. You see them Asian people that I just was talking? I live in Rico Park now. That is the racistest neighborhood I've ever been in. If you go in the store, they will follow you around like you getting ready to steal something. So that garbage that they was talking up here, that's all it was garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want black people to live in black people neighborhood. Because it's not their neighborhood. We from New York. This bill has got to be...
It was brothers and sisters simply pointing out anti-black racism. And do you know the newspapers immediately ran a story and said that the black people were being racist? You see what I'm talking about? Pointing out anti-black racism from a POC is now considered being anti-POC. And I'm talking about all the groups. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Every last one of them. So when these brothers and sisters simply pointed out something that every black man and woman knows about, and every black man and woman has known about for 100 years, they're being deemed the racist. Because that fits into the narrative that black people are the face of the oppressor and everyone else is the oppressed. Trust me, family, they only pulling that shit so they can get our reparations. And didn't we say, we breaking down a lot of game right now today. Didn't we say it always starts off with one celebrity? And then they take what they say about the celebrity and then they write 100 articles saying, we need to have a conversation. How many times have you seen the we need to have a conversation? Or the let's have a conversation about the anti-this in the black community? They write that article every single time a celebrity gets accused of something. They accuse Bill Cosby, then it's let's have a conversation about the whole black community. They accuse Dave Chappelle, let's have a conversation about the whole black community. They accuse the baby, let's have a conversation about the whole black community. Kyrie Irving, let's have a conversation about the whole black community. They don't ever want to have a conversation about the whole W community when there's some anti-black racism going on for the last 400 years. They don't ever want to have a conversation about the whole POC community every time one of these POC race soldiers harms a black person. No, but a goddamn celebrity, one celebrity, will get accused of something, and every single news publication from the LA Times, the New York Post, the Washington Post, Huff, whatever the fuck they called, will run an article, and they'll take that accusation on that one celebrity and they'll apply it to the whole black community. We always say that, fam. This is why we have to watch and keep an eye on every time they accuse a celebrity, because they're gonna try to pull that shit on all of us. You won't see something happen to George Lopez and they say we need to have a conversation about his whole community. You won't see something happen to Sarah Silverman, even though she's running around here with blackface, and say how we need to talk about her whole community. You won't ever see that. They only pull this with black folks. It's the same thing as reverse racism. Now they're trying to have reverse POC racism. And all these other groups are coming to this country and being openly attacked by the dominant society, and they blaming us for it. They blame us for the dominant society harming them. This is all one big scam, plot, and plan. This is why we keep our eye on everybody. That's why we G-check everybody. That's why that motherfucking FBA door is closed, locked shut, with bolts on it. Can't nobody come in. No trespassers. We don't have time to figure out and stifle through which one's good and bad. No, fuck them all. They can all stay over there on that side. We're going to be right here on this side. This is a certified side. Because you let one in, then one turns into 20, 20 turns into 2,000. Next thing you know, they all in your mix. And trust me, when they get all in your mix, it's all so they can either stop you from getting reparations or they can get a piece of your reparations. Either way, they're trying to get what belongs to us because they can't get it on their own. And when you know that you got something that the world wants, you make sure the world gonna have to keep their ass on the outside, and only certified BLACKs can come in on this side. You notice how every single group that tried to slither into our reparations claim are now the same exact groups saying that we are the face of all their problems. You're seeing it left and right all across the country. I'm talking about made up, contrived, utter bullshit. People are literally being harmed by the dominant society, getting back up and pointing at us and saying we did it. You'll have the dominant society on camera harming these other groups, but yet these other groups will say the black people did it, and everybody knows goddamn well it wasn't us. This attempt to make us the face of everybody's problem is because they can all say now, well, black folks don't need reparations. Look what they do to us. You see what I'm talking about? Oh, trust me, fam. Do not ever put anything past these people. What did we say in the very beginning of this AlphaCast? Quote to DMX, rest in peace. Trust everybody to be themselves, but trust in the fact that you can see them well. And we see they ass very well. So this attempt right now to say black folks need to apologize. Black folks did this to me. Black folks are the real problem. Black folks are the ones out here asking for reparations, but they're the ones who really owe us reparations. That's what it's going to become next. That's what it's going to become next. It's going to be black people owe other people reparations. Family, when you're getting to the bag of trillions of dollars, trust and believe they're going to come up with a trillion different fucking lies to stop you. In the system of supremacy, the more we get on code, the more desperate they get. We seen the beginning desperate. We seen the middle desperate. Now we're seeing the end game. In the end game, it's us getting to the bag. But trust and believe we're going to have a whole bunch of snakes coming out the blue. Yes, we are. So now you're seeing everybody go around and make these tours. Why do you think you're seeing the anti-FBA reparations tour? These motherfuckers is getting on buses, planes, cars. They flying in jumbo jets, private jets all across the world. Getting asked the same question. What do you feel about reparations for blacks? What do you feel about cash payments for blacks? They ain't asking them about the Ukraine. They ain't asking them about the weather. They ain't asking them about the economy. They're asking them about us. And everybody runs that same bullshit ass line. Well, I supported Bud, or what is it? How do we tally it? How do we count it? It's the same fucking runaround. And the same folks who just 6 months ago were trying to get in on our reparations, trying to sit in on our reparations task force, trying to sit in on our reparations panels and committees. Now it has finally sunk into them that they are not going to get it. So they're going to try to act like we owe them reparations. Yes, the dominant society's done it before. The dominant society's done it before. It's what we call recycled racism. Trust me, ain't nothing new under the sun, and there ain't nothing new with the supremacists. They gonna be out here saying, well, the blacks owe us reparations for all the things they did to us in 2022. Why do the black people get reparations for what happened to them 400 years ago when they're harming us now? There should be tax cuts that we get taken out of black folks' pockets. Wait, watch. This is how sleazy and low budget these folks are. Trust and believe. You already see them right now saying we should boycott their reparations. Y'all remember that Power 106 situation? Y'all remember that? Where they were openly saying, let's boycott foundational black American reparations. That's what they were saying. They didn't want to go boycott all the bad things happening in their community, all the poverty in their community, all the low education in their community. They didn't want to go and protest that. They wanted to actually physically come and protest our reparations. Family, in the history of America, I've never seen one group say, let's protest another group's reparations. Never. I've seen people protest education. I've seen people protest police brutality. I've seen people protest everything. I've never seen somebody say, let's go protest another group's reparations. Because what that was is they had finally realized that they weren't going to get in on it. Trust me, if they can get in on the reparations, they'd be out there waving the flag trying to get the check. Once they realized they could not get the check, they said, let's stop them by any means necessary. If we can't stop them by protesting them, because, we don't really want to pull up on them, they found out what that's all about. They found out that they can't go and protest our reparations because coming to protest us is going to end bad for you. So what they're going to say next, they're going to say, well, let's act like black folks is hurting us. And then not only can we make them look like the oppressor, eventually we can start trying to take them to court and get their money. So when the black folks get reparations, we're going to say we're entitled to half of those reparations based on all the oppression black folks have done to us in the year 2022 and a half. Damn real. A snake gonna be a snake. But guess what? Cut the grass low so the snakes to show we see every goddamn body. And that's the beauty of us. That's the luxury of us. And that's the glory of being on code. No matter what plan, plot, or strategy they come up with, we see the shit before they do it. See, what I like to do in terms of strategizing, I like to lay everything on the table. And when you're dealing with supremacy, everything's on the table. When you're dealing with the puppets of supremacy, everything's on the table. And when you're dealing with the minions of supremacy, everything's on the table. So I suspect and expect them to come up with everything, but I also guarantee and I know that we're gonna be ready for whatever. And when I say ready, I mean full ready, on code, brothers, sisters, kings, queens, goddess, and gods. G-check. So yeah, we getting closer to the bag. Reparations is near, and all the crazy shit's about to start popping. We think motherfuckers been in our mix before. You think folks been trying to tell us, follow us, and sabotage us before. They cool when we talking about reparations. But now them motherfuckers are starting to hear the cash register start chinging. They starting to hear that money folding. That smell of money's in the air. And that's just like a flag going up. Everybody watching it. Well, if they gonna watch it, they better enjoy the view because foundational black Americans stay shining. Boy, they can't get nothing past us. Oh, they dealing with a real one right here. Hey, they dealing with a real one. They can come up with any plot, plan, strategy, scheme. It don't motherfucking matter. We gonna see that shit before they do that shit. We gonna G-check that shit before it even gets a chance to stand up. That's how thorough we are. All the way real. And as we break things down and we put it in a nice, good frame for the world to see, we said you can never change a tether from tethering. You can't change the shield from shilling. You can't change a coon from cooning, all right? A coon gonna do the goddamn coon walk, y'all. They gonna do that motherfucker front, back, side to side. We all know that. But did y'all see the comedian Godfrey? Yeah, we going there. Because y'all know, Black Alpha Network, we put names on dates. We put dates on addresses. We put addresses on stamps, and we gonna mail it to them. Did y'all see Godfrey come out and start caping for Raphael Warnock? Did you see it? Did y'all see that shit? Damn. Didn't we say a tether gon' tether? You can't change a tether at all, just the same way I said if you know it's a snake, don't pick it up because it will bite you. Family, we can't let somebody come in here with some jokes and we like their jokes so they can come on in. We can't let them say 2 or 3 pro-black things and they can come on in. Didn't I tell everybody about the he made some points now? Didn't I? I'm right here. Y'all know on this channel, I'm the one always harping on, we got to stop with this he made some points now. We got to quit letting somebody come in because they do 2 things that we like. A motherfucker can tell a joke that makes you laugh all day long. Don't mean that they need to get in on your reparations. A motherfucker can come in here and say he don't want to vote for the Democrats or the Republicans either. Don't mean he need to get in on your reparations. A motherfucker can come here and say he supports the blacks. Doesn't mean that they need to get in on your reparations. We have to keep that door closed. I'm telling you. In this journey, the only people we need around us are our fellow freedmen. If it isn't our fellow freedmen, we don't need them.
And he was like, he kind of ignored it. But I didn't judge him from that because it was the wrong time for that.
And he was answering other questions, and this guy, what about reparations, man? Like, what the fuck is he gonna do about it?
You don't do that
like,
in
you
Georgia.
You don't do that when I'm walking on the bus.
You don't do that in Georgia.
Right.
For the senator.
Right. The guy, and it was a black reporter say, so, I'm out here trying to disturb you or not, man. What you gonna do about reparations and black people getting paid and shit, and what's gonna happen with that? Please tell me, please answer, because I'm gonna call you a sellout. He was like, anyway, guys, thank you. I appreciate it. But I didn't get mad at him for that, because I was like, dude, you put him on the spot. Don't fucking do that. You could have been on the side and go, yo, man, what you mother do?
And he didn't even really go in on...
You put him on the spot. So basically, Godfrey saying, be nice to the Democrats. Them are the people who allowed my family to come here to this country to eat off y'all family. I know Democrat protection when I hear it, and I'm not surprised that a tether is protecting the shield, because the tether and the shield are the same damn things. Godfrey, he's one of these guys who comes around, he'll say a bunch of stuff about black history, but you see how he feels about foundational black American history. You see, that's when the game changes. That's when you start to see the real truth. When you start to see the real truth is when someone's talking about our lineage. See, when they talking about the black race, they may say some things you agree with because some things benefit them. Someone's always going to talk different when something benefits them. And when you have that thought process of, he said some things about the dominant society, that's true, I like him, that don't mean he feel the same way about you. No. In this era right now, we are clearing house, and we're making it known. It has to be precise. Precise doesn't mean kinda. Precise doesn't mean sorta. Precise doesn't mean you said 2-3 good fucking jokes, so I like you all of a sudden. Hell to the no. It take more than that, and ain't a joke in the world funny enough to allow your ass to come on in. This is serious business. And if a comedian, a celebrity, a rapper, a dancer, a singer, a flute player, a guitarist, a pianoist got to sit their ass on the outside, they can sit their ass on the outside. It is non-consequential to me. Don't give a fuck. Don't give 1 fuck, 2 fuck, 3 fuck, 4. Not at all. So Godfrey comes out and he starts speaking about when our brother Marcel went to go speak to Raphael Warnock. Mind you, that is right here in my backyard, so I know about it very, very well. And I salute our brother Marcel for doing exactly what he should have done. It's the same thing that we should all do, and that's to approach these politicians. And if they don't want to give us the meeting time, we will create it. Well, Godfrey comes out and says, and first off, he thought he was funny. He's trying to talk in some little funny ass voice. Ain't nobody laughing, tether. And first off, I know a tether ain't trying to talk about how somebody speaks. Man, your parents probably talk like they got a mouthful of bananas and Jollof, homeboy. Man, you 2nd generation Jollof. Watch when you talk to FBA. We don't even listen to you. You ain't even 1st generation Jollof. You a 2nd generation Jollof, which means sit your ass down. Just be happy that my ancestors paved the way for you to even be here. That's what you need to do. You need to take a course in appreciation. As a matter of fact, all y'all 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th generation Jolofs, y'all need to take a course in appreciation, and foundational black Americans will be your professors. So this undercover comedian tether, because that's all he is, he's a tether in comedian form, and he wants to laugh around why he's really a tether. He wants to make jokes around why he's not a foundational black American. See, he wants to make jokes so you don't focus on his ass being from Nigeria. You need to worry about Nigeria reparations and quit worrying about what FBA is doing. And of all the things in the world, you start defending Raphael Warnock. Now you'll sit there all day long, tell 100 jokes, name all these little black things, but you don't understand that right here in this country, the benign neglect policies of the Democratic Party towards black Americans. Oh man, you a goddamn tether. Your tether gonna pop out. I'm telling you, give him 5 minutes and that tetherism is going to pop out. First, in the beginning, he starts talking like he's from Chicago, and by the end, he gonna start sounding like he's from Nigeria. Yeah, that Nigeria popped all out. Popping all out your tether ass teeth. So understand that somebody whose lineage is traced back to Nigeria cannot say a goddamn thing about foundational black Americans where our lineage is right here in America. Because mind you, he wouldn't even be in that seat with his flat top S-curl talking about our brother Marcel had it not been for brother Marcel's ancestors that paved the way for his ancestors to fly here from Nigeria. And it rings true again, is that 2 tethers are gonna stick together. Is anybody surprised that a tether will be defending the Democratic Party? Not at all. A tether may say this, a tether may say that, but when you look at it, tethers love the Democrats. Did anybody catch Tariq's face the other night when he was roasting some Democratic shield tether guy? I called in right after and I told Tariq, I don't know what's worse, a Democratic shield or a tether. And when you put them together, it's a terrible combination. You know why Godfrey is defending Raphael Warnock? He'll sit there all day long, talk about DJ Vlad and supremacy and got all these things to say about the dominant society. But yet you're sitting there defending Raphael Warnock, who is a minion of the dominant society. So you liking the Democratic Party is you liking supremacy through proxy. Yep, goddamn right it is. Because the Democrats and the tethers have a love affair. Yes, they do. The Democrats, they provide tethers the opportunity to come here to the United States of America, and the tethers hop their ass right on that plane and fly over here. So I'm not surprised why Mr. Second Generation Jollof is saying these things about Raphael Warnock, the same way why I'm not surprised that Second Generation Jollof is saying these things about Marcel Dixon. He sits there and talks completely around the Democratic Party's policies when it comes to us. That lets you know that he is beholden to the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party and their policies are the same people who afforded his parents the opportunity to come here and live off the backs of our ancestors. It's the same thing. A tether go tether. All he is a second generation comedian Jollof who is sitting here trying to talk down on foundational Black Americans, trying to cape for the Democratic Party, because in essence, that tetherism is inside of him. All the jokes, all the laughing, all the playing, that shit don't mean nothing, because that tether is going to pop out one way or another, and we seen that shit pop out. And the very fact that he said, oh, now's not the time to talk about reparations, that lets you know he don't know shit about foundational Black Americans. Do y'all remember when I roasted Luke on Luke's own space this summer? Yep, I roasted Luke. Big time, big time. He'll never be the same. Luke tried to run that same question on me. Why don't y'all have a meeting with these people? Why don't y'all talk to them? Anybody who's still trying to tell you that foundational Black Americans can just go and have a meeting, can just go and talk to these people like they're gonna ever make the time. The very fact that we gotta approach these folks in public lets you know that they deny us any meeting. Ice Cube couldn't get a goddamn meeting. So what you think the average foundational Black American is gonna be able to get? They know that shit. They know that, and I'm not surprised coming from Luke, because Luke is non-FBA. You see again, the tethers stick together. Luke is saying the same exact things Godfrey is saying. Why don't y'all just meet up with him? It's real easy to do. Nah, maybe you, Mr. Jollof, but when you're a foundational Black American, you have to have alternative means. And alternative means that you got to approach these folks in public and speak to them. Because if you think you're ever going to make a phone call, their secretary is going to answer, and you're going to have a meeting with them, and you're going to be able to sit at a table and talk Black issues, it ain't going to happen. Now, they may do that with your Jollof ass, but they'll never do that with us, because you are the buffer class who carries their weight. Foundational Black Americans, we are the people who built this country. Big difference. The Fleer and the Freedmen. The Fleer, oh man, they'll give y'all interviews every day because they know y'all bow down and kiss their ass the same way you kissing Raphael Warnock's. We don't do that, so there's a whole different form of approach. They understand that we are a threat to the dominant society, and you are an asset to the dominant society. Mr. Second Generation Jollof, or shall I say Jollof the Third. So yes, Godfrey is a tether, the same way Luke is. And by the way, Luke done popped up on the scene again with a bunch of fake ass spaces with his Democratic Shield partners. And Black folks, to the point, ain't nobody even taking Luke serious at all. When Luke can finish a sentence without sounding like he's chewing on rocks, then people might take him serious, and that's a very slim mic. Luke is the only person that'll hold a space and can't even talk directly into the microphone. It's on your phone, homie. Speak into it. Spit out the rocks and talk. But what you expect from a tether. And that's what we mean when we say these tethers is coming from all over the place, all out the woodworks, and they want our reparations, and they want every single thing that foundational Black Americans have created, but they cannot do so because foundational Black Americans operate on a level that they cannot even reach if they stood on the ladder. And that goes for all of them. That goes for the failed old school rappers, Luke. That goes for the second generation Jollof, Godfrey. That goes for the roly-polies, the Stephen A. Smiths, all of them. And that's how we gotta view it. If everybody looks at us as just one big Black person, then we're gonna look at everybody else as just one big tether. That's just what it is. One big Democratic Shield. One big coon. One big Sambo. We can do this all day long. We got time today. Because foundational Black Americans, we closing that door. Oh yeah. And anybody who thinks that door is going to reopen or they're going to get a little light at the end of the tunnel and they might be able to sneak their way in, fuck to the nah. Fuck to the nah. That is never going to happen because we understand things are very serious and we're in very important times and we the right people for the job. And when you the right person for the job, you're going to make sure everything goes off without a hitch. And we are making this airtight, lockdown, the way it should have been, but the way it is now, and that's all that matters. Staying on game, staying on one, and doing exactly what you're supposed to do. FBA and excellent, and that's exactly who we are. So when people start talking that bullshit about why don't y'all meet up with these politicians, that's tether talk. When someone says it ain't the time to talk to them, that's tether talk. When someone says, what are they supposed to do? That's tether talk. Don't be surprised when the tether's caping for a Democratic shield because the Democrats really created tethers. If you really want to go there, tethers are a creation of the Democratic Party. The Democrats birthed tethers because tethers wouldn't even be able to come here if they weren't taking advantage of the policies that the Democrats put in place to go above foundational Black Americans. So Godfrey, we see you're not only a second generation Jollof, you're also second generation tether and second generation Democratic shield. God damn, that's a fucked up combination. Jollof, tether, and shield. But they all go together. If I told you somebody's a Jollof and someone's a tether and someone's a Democratic shield, you'd say that was the same person and you'd be correct. And it's clear every single time they talk. So this running interference and speaking on our reparations, nah. And here's the thing, if you non-FBA, why are you talking on our reparations anyway? Have y'all heard anybody who's non-FBA say one positive thing about reparations? Have you? And if they do, they always say, not all of us is bad, man. Some of us got your back. Don't worry about coming and telling me that. You need to start G-checking everybody in your community. See, this is another thing. These non-FBAs who come to us and they tell us, man, not all of us is bad. We got y'all back. Don't come telling me that. Go G-check the folks in your own community. If you spend enough time G-checking the off-coded people in your community, then you wouldn't have to come to me and tell me y'all not all bad. See, we don't do that. That's another thing. That's number 957. Why foundational Black Americans are nothing like tethers. We don't do that. We don't go to other communities and make excuses for our off code. We don't go to the Jamaicans and say, hey man, I'm sorry for what Clyburn did, man. Not all of us is like him. We don't do that. We don't go to other communities and say, hey man, not everybody's like Van Jones. We got your back. We don't do that shit. You know why? It's because we done G-check the off-code people so much in our community, they'll never go to another community and pull that shit. They got a hard enough time here dealing with us. But these other groups, they don't do no house cleaning. They don't do no gatekeeping. They don't do no regulating. So the motherfuckers in their community create all types of turmoil and then they try to bring that shit over to us. Why are we continuously G-checking yo coons? Tell me why. Why are we always having to check a tether instead of the people from his homeland checking them? You look real off code and it seems like this is something that goes on the majority of the time. See, cooning don't go on the majority of the time over here because we don't play that shit. Trust and believe. We may see coons get a job. We may see coons get a promotion. They may put coons on TV everywhere, but trust me, that does not represent the percentage of cooning in America. That is just coons who are being subsidized. Those are just coons with an opportunity. Because on a day-to-day average regular person, a coon does not step in our zone. We regulate that and we create an atmosphere where they know better. Trust me. Van Jones, he know better. Clyburn, know better. Bakari Sellers, they know better. They know not to bring that shit around foundational Black Americans when we were just at the reparations rally. Coons wasn't running around there acting like they ran shit. Hell to the nah. So we got our coons in check. They don't. Coons run amok so much over there that they bring their cooning over here. And then the folks who are supposed to be on code over there come over here to us and say, man, not all of us is bad. We got your back. Don't give a fuck. Handle yours, we handle ours, bottom line. Look at the Brittany Griner situation. That was Black men that were pushing that line. Dennis Rodman was behind the scenes trying to make things happen. They didn't like that. Roy Jones Jr., who has dual citizenship to Russia, he was backstage making things happen. But what ended up occurring? When everybody quit talking about her, when no one mentioned her, the Black grassroots were the only people saying, bring her home. The Black grassroots were the only ones saying, we don't think that was a cool situation to happen. The feminists, they didn't turn their back on her. They never even showed up. The Democratic Party, they didn't turn their back on her. They never even showed up. Joe Biden was writing checks for the Ukraine. Kamala Harris was in hiding. Didn't nobody ride for Brittany Griner at all except for the black grassroots, and it's always that way. It always comes down to the black grassroots. We ride for people who don't even ride for us, because if we see something that we feel is wrong or something that's unjust, we gonna speak out on it. The Brittany Griner situation, we spoke out on that, even though she never came out for us. She didn't really ride for us, but we still rode. We still kept her name going. Trust me, her name was only even being spoken of because of the black grassroots. But soon as they free her, what ends up happening? Joe Biden shows up. Kamala Harris comes out of hiding. Ain't seen her in months. Shit, probably ain't seen her in a year. And they know how to take a photo op, don't they? Just like when black brothers and sisters were harmed in Buffalo at the grocery store, Joe Biden did what? He showed up and took pictures with every little black kid he could see. He doesn't make policies with black folks. He takes pictures with black folks. Everybody else gets policies. Black folks get pictures. Everybody else gets laws. Black folks get pictures. Everybody else gets money. Black folks get pictures. So Joe Biden showed up, he took some pictures and said, "We're here for America and to save her." And everybody threw a Democratic parade. The WNBA start coming out saying how they helped. Did none of these people help? The WNBA didn't do a goddamn thing. They went on as business as usual. Matter of fact, I seen a lot of folks from the WNBA saying, really, that was her fault. She shouldn't have broke the law in another country. Now they're saying, hallelujah, what a great day. Bullshit. Everybody wants to get in on what the black grassroots creates because the black grassroots is the only consistent real thing in this country. Everybody else is phony. Everybody else is fake. We are the only ones who provide that realness. And we've always been that way. It ain't nothing new. We continue to stay true. We continue to stay real. And we continue to represent what everybody else is afraid of. So the feminists never showed up. The Democrats never showed up. The WNBA never showed up. I seen them on TV praising the WNBA. Did y'all see anybody from the WNBA doing anything for Brittany Griner? No. Did you hear any Democrats talking about her? No. Democrats ain't spoke about her in years. Democrats ain't spoke about her in months. Not at all. The feminist movement were too busy out here going after black men. They weren't coming for her defense. Now, mind you, once again, she's not somebody who's represented the black grassroots. She's just another black American. When we see something, we stand up for it. So we, foundational black Americans, went harder for somebody that doesn't go hard for us than these other communities that she represents. She's a part of all these other communities. They ain't say a goddamn thing. None at all. And what I believe is that Dennis Rodman and Roy Jones Jr., two foundational black American men, were behind the scenes pulling strings. And then once that got close, Joe Biden swooped in and said, I did it. Yeah, that's what I believe. And speaking of that, they exchanged her for an arms dealer. All right. Do you really think they gave a damn about Brittany Griner for an arms dealer because they cared about Brittany Griner? If that was the case, they could have made that deal months ago. So if they're just now making that deal, why do you think they did it? What do you think was the defining measure on why all of a sudden they said, let's exchange her for an arms dealer? I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. The black vote. They seen the way they was getting their ass whooped in the midterms, the way they underperformed in the midterms, and now they're looking to 2024 and they say we need some type of chips for black folks, some type of gesture. Because if black folks did the same thing that they did in the midterms, we in deep trouble. And all projections are showing that black voter turnout was bad, very bad. So they said, somebody get Russia on the phone, let's trade in this arms dealer and let's bring Brittany home because these black grassroots folks got everybody not voting for us. That's what it was. And how do you know that's the case? Is because Joe Biden showed up trying to take pictures. They only show up for photo ops when they trying to get your vote so they can circulate it. I guarantee you, he's going to put that shit on a campaign sticker. Look, I brought the big, tall, light-skinned woman home. Yes, I did. Traded in the arms dealer for her. Y'all going to vote for me? Yep, they're going to send out all the Democratic shields. Well, what has Joe Biden done for black folks? Has he passed any laws? No. Has he gave them any tangibles? No. A hate crime bill? No. But he brought Brittany Griner home. See what I'm talking about? The black grassroots is everywhere. Everywhere. Y'all know right here on the Black Alpha Network on this channel, please subscribe to the network. You know I'm always the main one telling everybody that you can look in every single aspect of our society and see the effect of the black grassroots. It does not matter where you look, socially, politically, international trade, arms dealers, Russia, Ukraine, the foundational black American fingerprints are present everywhere. That shows you our power. Sometimes, family, you got to see through the walls and you got to read between the lines if you really want to get the true story. The true story is when you look at every single ratio in this country and outside of this country, you see the effect that us, I'm talking about you, I'm talking about me, I'm talking about our whole black grassroots lineage has. And it ain't just singing and dancing. They think about us with every move that they make because we are the only ones that threaten supremacy. When supremacy operates, they got to sit down and see who is our number one threat. It ain't the Tethers. It ain't Mr. Joe Lawson III. It ain't the Democratic Shields. It ain't the Butter Biscuits or the Tap Dancers. It's us. We're the ones that they go to sleep at night thinking about. We're the ones they wake up thinking about. We're the ones that they have nightmares about because we are the ones who will replace the system of supremacy with the system of justice, and that system of justice is foundational Black American empowerment. Quote me on that one. So yes, the Brittany Griner situation was all about foundational Black Americans and the Black grassroots exposing the Democrats in their benign neglect policies, and this is nothing more than a desperate mere attempt to get the Black vote in 2024. And family, they're going to pull a lot more stunts. They're going to pull a lot more tricks, and we're going to see every last one of them. No matter what they do, foundational Black Americans are always on code and on game. So when they try to hustle us in the political world, we on game. When they try to hustle us in the social world, we on game. When they try to hustle us with the unity, with the brotherhood, with the friendship, we on game. When they try to get every little vote, every little support, every little policy, every little law passed for everybody other than us, we are on game, and we stand true to ourselves, and we say, if it ain't FBA, then we don't give a damn. Feel that. And that's our policy. It's us first, us only. And that's what's really changing the game, the very fact that we don't lend our support to everyone. Giving our ideas away, handing our ideas away, lending them to other people, that is one of the main reasons why foundational Black Americans fell behind. Because those other folks, they're not going to do it in an honest exchange. No, they're going to erase our name and put their name on it. The same way they tried to put their name on everything we do. They try to put their name on this country that we built. So if somebody's willing to put their name on the country you built, you know they're going to try to do that with every single invention that foundational Black Americans created. The exportation of foundational Black American creations to other communities only strengthens non-foundational Black American communities. But when we keep all of those creations, interventions, thoughts, business plans, and master plans in-house, then we strengthen ourselves. And right now, we are strengthening ourselves, and everybody else is watching it happen, and they can't do nothing to stop it. See, when foundational Black American, certified American freedmen, and certified Black society gets on the same page, the same accord, and the same code, and we are, our power is immense. And once we have that immense power, the whole world has to bow down. So we are doing our thing, only focused on us, only building each other. And everybody else that used to have to lean on us, they got to get it on their own. And it's been proven, it's been shown, and it's been put on public that they cannot get it on their own. They want to come and take things from the foundational Black American table, cut off. They want to come and steal from the foundational Black American house, cut off. They want to come and take things that foundational Black Americans created for foundational Black Americans, and they want to say it's for themselves. And we done cut that shit off. Now they got to stand alone. Now they got to stand by themselves, and they cannot do it. And while they sit there and try to stand alone and stand by themselves and they can't do it, they got to look right over here to the freedmen side of things and see us not only standing alone, see us not only standing by ourselves, but now they got to see us standing stronger than ever. Hot fire, and we got it forever. Certified all the time. Game real strong, real strong. If you love results and you love winning, then you got to love us because we got it all. Yes. So that's the game the foundational Black Americans are on specifically today. We ain't playing with nobody. We don't give a damn who you are. You may got 2 or 3 good songs, 2 or 3 good movies, 1 or 2 comedy specials, whatever it is you do. We're watching what you say, and we're watching your actions. If your words and your actions do not add up to the betterment of foundational Black Americans, you will be put on that G-check list and you will get your ass G-checked. That's how it goes. Non-FBA, G-check. Pan-Africanism, G-check. Democratic Shields, G-check. POCs, G-check. Minorities, G-check. Off code, off brand, out of line, out of pocket, G check, peace, love, and reparations. Cut the check. One love, family. This has been another episode of the Black Alpha Network. I appreciate the tap in and I appreciate the love. Family, we are all we got and we are all we need, and I love every second of it. If we got to put people in their place, I love it. If we got to put people on that Jumbotron, I love it. If we got to put people on that Summer Jam screen, I love it. You know why I love it? I love it because not only are we doing it as a collective effort, not only are we doing it as one big family. There ain't nothing like whooping somebody's ass with your brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. You want to get closer to somebody? Whoop somebody's ass with your brothers and sisters, and you're going to go home and you're going to have a great time. Big facts. But we move as a family unit. We move as a family tree. Meaning, if my sister sees somebody that I don't see, she brings it to my attention. If my brother sees somebody I don't see, he brings it to my attention. But all of us gatekeeping together, that is a collective effort that gets things done. And y'all know when we put our minds together, everything gets done, including this country that we're standing in. I'm extremely proud of where we're at. I'm extremely proud of where we're going. And I'm extremely proud how we got each other's back. And I see that every day. We support each other. We support each other more than any group on this planet. Don't let anybody tell you other than that. These other groups leave each other hanging. They leave each other out to dry. We stay on code and we uplift each other. We rise together. We stand together. That's why we're so accomplished, and that's why we're so strong. And we're getting stronger every single day. Got to love it. But make sure you subscribe to the Black Alpha Network if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that like button before you ride out. You know I appreciate that. You know I love you. I love everybody. We are the number one. We are the only ones, and we are all we got, and all we got is better than them. So y'all stay good, y'all stay fly and be excellent, and I'm gonna see you out there. One love from Black Alpha, and remember forever, black is beautiful, and beautiful is always black. One love.